Good morning, or oh my God! Not only was I muted, I also don't even know the time. Apparently, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to League White Wednesday. It's Miss Phins and Color Commentary. We are back, baby, for the season finale. Thank you guys for coming through. Much appreciated. You already see it down there. Hit that like button, guys. Let everybody else know. We're gonna recap the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about just how the overall league ended up being this season, you know what I mean? Because a lot happened. So we're gonna discuss all those goodies, if you will. Um, but yeah, man, it's a season finale. My gosh, season 2 in the books. So, talk to me, Color. How are you,
Well,
sir?
yeah. I mean, if you're the type of person that has to have, if you're a glutton for punishment and you hate the NFL and you wanted to see a boring football game, well, you got your wish. And if you wanted to see a really good competitive game, you also got your wish.
The tales of two halves, man. I'm
Pretty
telling you.
much. I mean, I don't, I'm not one for cliches, but yeah, pretty much.
Literally, the tales of two halves.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that second half was like probably a microcosm of the whole season for the NFL. I mean,
for real.
other than us blowing everybody out until we lose.
It's just so frustrating
I mean, you
as
had
a
everybody
football
else
fan.
that was, had games like that all year, and you had us. And that was like the two types of team in the league last year.
Sad, absolutely sad, and it's so annoying because it's like we're not that far off. That's the part that pisses me off. We're not that far off. It's like we're right there, so close, but
Well,
yet
it's like,
so far.
you're spending a lot of energy. When a person's spinning their wheels, they're spending a lot of energy too. But if
Yeah, it
that's your goal,
hurts,
then
man.
you're
It
doing good.
hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna discuss all this. We're gonna go over the game as well, and kind of talk to you guys. We're gonna be very interactive. Might even bring you all up here too. What's up, Scott? I see you first. Yup, you made it. Dakota, welcome. Jets family
They're
in
like,
the
wow,
house. Love it.
I can't believe these people are still talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we gotta end this puppy. You know what I mean? We gotta put close to book on this. It happened like 3 days ago. People act like we're that far off. I mean, it just happened like 3 days ago. Peeps, we just gotta do it. What's up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? Welcome, guys. Much appreciate having all of you guys here. We're gonna have fun like always. What will happen tonight? We never know. You know, things they just happen here on League White Wednesday. That's what makes it fun. You know, very unpredictable and awesome. I mean, we have a format, but you know, who cares about structure or whatever. Also, too, I have the results, sir, which
The
we're gonna
universe,
we're
the
gonna go.
universe cares about structure.
True, I guess technically. We're gonna go over the results of our giveaway. Yeah, no, Dakota, you've been in here all day. I appreciate you. Um, dude, we we got the winners, man. We got the winners. That's all I gotta say. We got the winners. But you'll see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go over here and recap this Super Bowl real quick. Let's get this puppy out the way. Then we can just talk about all the other craziness that happened, kinda. So, um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, color. Before we continue, was the Super Bowl what you expected or no?
Yeah, pretty much. I figured it would look like San Francisco was the better team and they would still lose in the end. It's pretty much how I called it.
Really? Really?
Mm.
Dang. What's up, Adam S? Welcome, buddy.
I mean,
I don't know.
if you
I
look at
didn't
the
think it
way
would be like
if you look
this,
at
man. It
the way
was
the probabilities were before the game started, I think the first half it was rolling right along. Like, yeah, they were about right on the probabilities,
all the way up to the
and
third quarter, man.
yeah, and until the 49ers just decided that they didn't want that wave function to collapse, so they decided to take one of those branching universes, you know what I mean, that have them losing. And here we are. We're
For
now
real,
living in
man.
the San Francisco. We're living in the 49ers nightmare universe now.
Yeah. Kind of sucks because I was really looking forward to celebrating the Niners. Because I just really can't stand Kansas City right now. But let's get started. We got obviously in this game. Let's go with Kansas City first. You had Patrick Mahomes going 34-46, 333 yards, two touchdowns and an interception. He also was the rushing leader with 9 carries and 66 yards, and Travis Kelsey of goals with 9 receptions, 93 receiving yards. On the other side, you had Brock Purdy, 23 of 38, 255 yards, one touchdown. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 80 yards. And he also was the receiving leader at 8 receptions with 80 yards and a touchdown. I don't know how this man did it, but he was out there. He clearly got hurt in the game too, and he was not coming down. Kansas City ended up having 455 total yards in the game, turned it over twice, and had 24 first downs. 49ers had 382 total yards, two turnovers, and 23 first downs. Time of possession was practically 50-50, not even 38 to 36. Like it was, you practically can't get any more 50-50. What's up, Curtis? How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. We need 3 more likes to get to 10. Let's get over that. Let's get 8 more likes. We can get to 15. Let's do that. Let's do that. What else? Yeah, this was ridiculous. Now there were a few things that I was like, "Holy smokes! Did you see Travis Kelsey practically take the head off of Andy Reid on the sideline?" For me personally, as a competitor, as an athlete, I totally get it. You know what I mean? Essentially, it was a put me in, coach. Don't take me out. Not this game, You saw the passion. You saw it all in there. I'm not surprised, but it caught me off guard. It caught the whole world it caught everybody. Like, ooh, okay, maybe. Now, what do you think of that interaction, Color? And is it
I
possible
mean,
today, just today, we could get a glimpse of you so people know you are not an AI figment of our imagination?
unfortunately, not today. I don't have
I
a
just really
camera on
want to
this
say
computer.
I wanted to
I
interject
do
AI
not
into
have
the
a
conversation.
I do not have a camera on this computer, but I can do something. I can do the next best thing, man. Let's see here. Let's see what the next best thing is.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do. Go ahead and do it. But while you're doing it, answer. What did you think of that interaction?
Ah, ah, ah.
What did you think of that interaction? Hmm?
I don't know, really. I mean, I think Kelsey's just a big goofball that don't know his own time and space. It's no excuse. You can't touch the guy, but I don't think he intended to do that. To be
I don't
honest
think
with you.
so either. I don't think he measured like he wasn't. You can tell he wasn't like he was there for a purpose, but I don't think he measured the distance. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think he just
It's
gets it tunnel vision. He's the type of person that gets rowdy and don't doesn't isn't aware of his surroundings. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And how
My
close
man
he
is
is to
six
the
five,
guy
two
he's
fifty.
walking up to, and how close he is to the guy he's rushing up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They've been together too long. I don't think Andy thought anything of it. It was
Yeah,
probably aggravating at the time, but
of
knocked
course.
his playbook out of his hand and all that. But whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? When it's your
But I don't
playmakers,
want to brush it off
I get
because you can't breach space like that. You can't touch another man like that. You know what I mean?
it. Yeah, you can. It's called football.
Yeah, but
Just
you
saying.
do that to the referee, and you're not going to be you're going to be in the
No, the
NFL.
referee is part.
Wh-
The
Which
referee
means
is
not for
part
long when you do
of
that
the
to the
field.
referee.
The referee is part of the field. I'm so tired of referees wanting it both ways. Nah, you can't be part of the field and also be mad. You get hit. You're part of the field.
No, I'm not talking about getting hit. I'm talking about if a player rushed up on a ref like that and accidentally bumped him, it would be not for long for that guy. He'd be
Again,
out. I
I
mean,
think it's
he'd be
ridiculous.
fined out the yin yang, and if it ain't a star player, man, that could be it.
Nah, I still think they think too much of themselves. They need to
I'm
calm
not
down.
talking about like incidental contact. I'm talking about like you can't touch anybody that ain't got gear on if you're a football player on the field.
I mean, yeah. I'll, intentionally is what we're talking
Because
about.
look,
Okay,
there's
moving
the
on.
whole stereotype that comes with the big brutish football player. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. They've worked for decades to you know reverse that image, and you get a guy like that gets all rowdy up on the coach or on a referee or something, and yeah, that's it.
It's about time somebody has some passion in
There's
football.
lines you can't breach.
It's about time somebody has some passion in football. That's all I gotta say.
Look in
Oh.
baseball, if the coach yells at him loud enough to make his shirt move, he'll kick him out of the game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But I get what you mean. I mean, honestly, other than that, San Francisco was in the entire game. I'm actually very upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very upset that 49ers lost. But I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not even lying to you. Like I told everybody, um, the minute, and I even posted it I posted it on Twitter. The minute that the flipping that the flipping 49ers picked tails at the beginning of the game, I'm like, that's it. 49ers lost. Kansas City's winning the Super Bowl. That's how early I knew Kansas City was going to win the Super Bowl. Like, hey, what's up, Cardi P? How you doing? We're gonna open up this session here, um, to bring you guys in here to talk, talk football overall, because it is the off season. We just wanted to close out League Wide Wednesday for the season finale. To be honest with you, I mean, the first half was very defense oriented, which I loved. Me personally, that's why you didn't see that much scoring. You had no points in the first quarter. San Fran with the 10 in the second, and Kansas City in the third. Um, but then after that, man, the championship defense kicked in for Kansas City and stopped them in the third. And in the fourth, they only scored 9 points. And then, and overtime, they got the 3 points. But then again, I know a lot of people want to blame the defense for the 49ers, but at the end of the day, that offense didn't get it done. They couldn't afford to kick no field goal in overtime in the Super Bowl. They knew they needed that touchdown. And then when they messed up and they got that PAT blocked, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work for them. It's not gonna work for them. Like I'm already seeing what's up. So yeah, but it is what it is. Anything else you got on this game? I just feel like we needed to get it out the way because
Yeah, I
there's some
mean,
other
no,
stuff I
you're
want.
right. You're right. There was plenty of opportunities, and for me, it was right around. Yeah, first of all, you leave any point, you leave in even 1 point on the field in a Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes is going to make you pay for it. So
Exactly.
that missed extra point, and you could argue, and I know other people like to say, well, they would have just scored again anyway. Well, maybe, but the fact of it is, if the clock would have hit zero, all things being the same, the 49ers would have ended that game ahead by one right there. So,
Exactly. Well,
you
their
know,
play calling changes. Period. Because you don't have to just go down to a 35-yard line. You
well,
have
the
the
argument
entire.
is they would have still that Mahomes would have just put up another touchdown. Well, maybe, but
True,
time wise,
true, but
if you're looking at all things being equal and playing out the same way, then yeah, that extra point cost them the game.
yeah. But this is the thing. You're still playing for at least to tie the game. You want to go for the touchdown. You wanna get that opportunity. But at the end of the day, they knew all they needed was that field goal.
Right. No, I'm
If
talking
they
about the
knew
extra
they
point they missed.
no, I know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If by making that extra point, then Kansas City has to score
Right.
that touchdown. You see what I mean?
Right.
Your
Right.
play calling changes completely.
Right. And I mean, and in overtime, I mean, you got to take the points there. It's overtime. You messed up by not converting the fourth down. So you got to take
And
what
that
you can
fourth
get.
down was weird to me. That whole last series for me was like, what, Mike Shanahan? What are you thinking, buddy?
Yeah, kind of reminds you of somebody, don't it?
Mm,
Interestingly enough,
mm. Hey, we got Mama Dean in the building. What's up, Mama Dean? Hello, Miss
what's up,
Phins.
Mama D?
Daddy and I are
Uh,
having a
uh,
dinner
uh,
date. Just wanted to say hi. Oh, enjoy yourselves. Happy Valentine's Day to the lovely couple. Enjoy yourselves, man. And thank you so much
and
for supporting.
and
Hit that like button.
I'll only make this correlation on from this perspective. We would have lost the same way. Like it would have played out exactly the same way for us, and we
100%.
would have lost.
100%.
I mean, granted, we wouldn't have been playing KC in the Super Bowl, but if our opponent was the same, like if we were the 49ers, which we are of the AFC, you know,
Literally.
they just happened to go further than we did,
Literally.
and
Yeah,
they didn't
I
look
agree with
very
you. I
good
think San
getting there
Fran lost
either.
it because
It's not like they had the most stellar games the last couple of weeks.
agree. Can you believe they fired their DC?
Uh,
I was like, I don't think the
I
defense
don't
was the
agree with
problem.
it, but I can certainly believe it because it looks like they're running the same program out there
No,
that
they
we are
didn't.
over here. blame the defense for
Literally the
everything.
same. We're the
It
same
was
freaking team.
I couldn't
We're the same
believe
team.
watching one, and it wasn't even one of their fans. It was somebody. It was somebody that retweeted it that wasn't even a 49ers fan. That was literally like, it was almost like watching a two and ear talk about our team. Like, you give this many opportunities for your offense, this and that and the other, and you got Kansas City with this many 3-and-outs and blah blah blah, and you're gonna fire the DC. Like, it was the same thing
Dude,
from like it was from our fan base. It's amazing to me that they
it's
scapegoat their DC like
it's
that.
the same thing.
And by the way, that was his first
Dude, you
season
and
with
I
them.
literally have said it this season.
That was his first season with them.
Exactly. It's like,
And he
and
had
to be honest
argument.
with you,
And if you
let's
look at
not
the way
lie.
that game played out, I think the 49ers defense was every bit as good as the Chiefs defense that night. Like, in most regards, you
Dude,
know what I mean? Like,
they were top 10.
I actually thought KC's
Top
defense was more
10.
tired toward the end. You know, I thought the 49ers had him because
Absolutely.
I thought the KC looked more gassed.
Like, I was like, this is not happening.
First
They
year with as
literally
their
fired
DC,
their
and
DC.
yeah, first year with them, and he's got their defense in the Super Bowl.
Dude. And not just that, They were ranked
He's the
third
Jared Goff of
in
defensive coordinators.
scoring defense, 17.5 points. Third,
Yeah.
third in scoring
But because your
defense.
offense
Are
couldn't
you
score
freaking kidding me?
26.
And in his first year,
Right. But because your offense
in
couldn't
his
score
first year, he's
26.
got you top 3.
Right. And because your offense couldn't score
It's
26,
the dumbest thing.
you get fired. Like, wow.
And isn't and let's not lie. Kyle Shanahan kind of reminds me of a shaved Carrie P. What's up? I see you, buddy. Give us literally 2 seconds. I'm gonna bring you up real quick. I just want to finish
Well, if
this
that's
last
the
thing with the
Shanahan
color.
coach. Look, I don't know.
Doesn't Shanahan
People
look like
keep talking.
our Mike McDaniel just without the beard?
Well,
Or you know what I mean?
people keep calling it the Shanahan tree, and I wish they'd stop because Mike Shanahan would never call a game that way. Ever. He would not call it the way Kyle does. He would not call it the way Mike McDaniel does. By the way, that's the second choke job by Kyle Shanahan. The second Super Bowl choke job.
Oh, yeah, because he did it 4 years ago. Which I like to tell people, like, I don't know if people, whenever I do my show, like, this is their first Super Bowl.
Right. You score your 28
this is Super Bowl LIV.
and you think you're done.
So in this Super Bowl, it was the 49ers, Kansas City. It was in Miami. This is why I have it, because it's a Florida, Super Bowl LIV. You see Super Bowl LIV. That's the official towel of the Super Bowl. And I have an official hat too. And the Super Bowl was it was intense. But at the end of the day, let's not lie. Coach is the reason why they lost that game again. Mike Shanahan. So the fact
And for those
that
that think
they scapegoated their defense, yo.
And for those
I'm
people
sorry.
that keep harping the same misnomer or misconception that we do over here, Kyle Shanahan did not abandon the run. Despite what anybody thinks or says, they ran the ball one more time than the Chiefs did. 31-30. You're not going to tell me somebody abandoned the run that ran the ball 31 times in a game. That's not abandoning the run. Their quarterback threw 38 times. Okay, on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs ran the ball 30 times. Not as much success, but they threw the ball for 46? If that doesn't show you right there that the difference in this type of game is the quarterback, I don't know what does. There is no other statistic in the world that can support the eye test of what we saw than that one. They both ran the ball the same number of times. 49ers had more success running the ball.
They both had the same amount of possessions.
And the Chiefs threw the ball.
13 possessions they each had. 13.
Right, and the Chiefs threw the ball, 8 more times Those 8 more
Yeah, Chiefs
times,
were 46
right? Those
38.
8 more throws or whatever it was, is 8 times with the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, the greatest quarterback of all time.
Well, I'm not gonna call him that,
That's
but I
why
get it.
they won. That's why the Chiefs won, because of their quarterback. And I know that this gentleman joining us right now is going to wholeheartedly agree with me.
Gary P, give it to us, buddy. How you doing, man? Good evening. How are you?
Hey, what's up? What's up, family? Hey, man, yeah, that's exactly why I called in to discuss the Steve Wilkes firing. I mean, can you hear me? Can
That
you hear
was
me?
insane to me when I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have a lot of background noise. You got a
yeah,
lot
I'm
of
in chicken
background
kitchen.
noise.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'm
So
ordering some, another restaurant right now. All right. I'll be right back.
okay, we can hear you though, but if you want to go ahead and then let us know. But
No, no, no. I called
I'll
up to discuss the Steve Wilkes firing. That's what it was, and you guys got to it as soon as I
oh,
chimed in. So I wondered if you guys had any
no, go
theories or
ahead,
heard
talk about it.
any news. No, no, I don't know. I know. I remember Steve Wilkes was party to the Flores lawsuit, and I just thought it was interesting that he would be fired so quickly after that Super Bowl. I don't think the defense let them down as much as succumbing to greatness. You know what I'm saying? So I just wondered if you guys have heard anything as to why he got
Wow, that's
fired the way
interesting.
he did.
I hadn't realized that he was part of that.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow,
Thank you, Crypto. I see you in
yeah,
the back. Give
that
us
Yeah,
is
yeah,
2 seconds.
stunning.
yeah, but I don't know
Literally,
anything. I was calling to see if you guys had heard
No, but
anything
that
today.
is a stunning correlation. I had no idea. I mean, I probably knew, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together till just now. That's interesting, very interesting.
I'll tell you this. I personally think that he was just scapegoated
Yeah,
because this is the second time that Mike
scapegoated out of
Shanahan,
San
I mean
Diego,
Kyle, yeah, Kyle Shanahan
scapegoated out
has,
of here. I mean, it's like, wow, man.
and
Remember, he
proof
was
of the
head coach of
pudding,
Arizona.
Arizona,
Oh,
yeah,
right, it was Arizona,
yeah,
not the Chargers. Did he
but
do defensive
proof
work for the
proof of
Chargers or
this,
something?
I think he was
Or
a
no, I'm
positional
thinking of
coach.
Anthony Lynn. That's who I'm thinking of.
You sure? Because I thought he was a positional, but I mean, maybe not.
Could have
You know,
been, but I think I'm thinking of Andy Lynn, Anthony Lynn.
regardless. You don't fire a coach that in their first year gets you top three Super Bowl caliber defense. You just don't do that. You don't do that. You eat it as the head coach because clearly he had those guys ready. It's not his fault the offense did not produce.
Yeah,
And ding, Christian McCaffrey literally was your entire offense. And now
and you know what?
I'm not putting
y-
this on Brock Purdy either.
Well, neither am I. But you know
Not
what
100%. Not at
you know
all.
what their supporting meme was going around all week. And this is I'm going to make
Which
the
one?
same statement because when I say it, you're going to realize the logical fallacy right away. Brock
Hit me.
Purdy played well enough to win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, because he wouldn't get any of the credit.
Well, the thing of it is that even if he did play well, there is no logical way he could have played well enough to win the Super Bowl. Because if he did, the parade would have been in San Francisco yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people can make that type of statement and not see it as fallacious right off the bat. He played well enough to win the Super Bowl. No, he didn't. Had he played
Technically,
well
yeah.
enough to win, Mahomes would have lost. And we would be saying Mahomes didn't play well enough to win. So no, Brock Purdy did not
That
play
is
well
true.
enough in the Super Bowl. Sorry to tell you, people. The guy that played well enough threw the ball 46 times
Yeah. Which is, to me, it was still
and had
ridiculous.
over 300
I mean,
yards and 2 touchdowns and 60 yards rushing. That's the guy that played well enough to win. You know, I'm tired of this taking the onus off of the quarterback for every team. It's not just us. It's ridiculous. It is the very thing that's caused the mediocrity that's running rampant through this league. Every team is doing the same thing. They are milking their fan base with a guy that is just above average. And they gaslighting everybody into thinking these guys are superstars or gonna be one day. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I
And
think Brock
Goodell needs to
Purdy's
put a
pretty good.
stop to it.
He won't marketing. But what's up, Crypto? How you doing? What do you got on this? On the DC being fired by the 49ers. What do you think
Before you
about
go,
that?
crypto, Miss Phins, that's when Congress needs to. And I'm a small government
Oh,
guy. Don't get me confused. But that is a point where you're basically gouging your customers. There's
yeah, like
laws
this.
against gouging.
Yeah, like season tickets, which is insane. What's up, Joe? Welcome, buddy. But go ahead, Crypto. How you got? What's up, Rafael? Welcome, welcome. What do you got on this?
Hey,
On the being fired, man? Like that. That to me just came out of nowhere. Them fired him. Their DC, in
I
my
was.
opinion.
I know you'd be on league wide. I didn't. I would when I saw that you had the link up. I was like, oh man, she's opening up the panel tonight on League Wide Wednesday. I was gonna
Hmm.
say this. I was going to say, well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I am
Hmm.
going, I am starting my year in reverse. So January, February, November, it's pretty soon. In a couple of days, I will be in a Thanksgiving spirit. I'm just going
All
to do
right.
every holiday in reverse.
So
March is going to be Halloween.
what games are you re-watching for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to I'm gonna probably rewatch the Black Friday game just to kind of get me in the mood again.
Oh,
And
that's
you
a
gotta
good one.
you
30-0.
gotta go full traditional and watch one Detroit game and one Dallas game.
And one Dallas game and one Detroit game. That's
For real.
I'm gonna have to play
That's
this year
hilarious.
reverse because it seems like Groundhog Day all over again. So what I'll
You might
do as
want to
an
do yourself a
exercise,
mental favor and what if the Dallas game, make sure it's that Leon Lett debacle on Thanksgiving.
yeah. Oh man, those 49ers are so desperate right now. I don't know. When you say Patrick Mahomes is the reason why they fired their coordinator, are we going to say that now? Well, guess is he's going around firing, getting everybody's defensive coordinators fired? Well,
Not at all.
the Ravens, their guy left because of a job. It was because they got desperate and kicked him to the can. You know what I'm saying? When he got the Seattle job,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
different. He's
they
getting
did the
there for an
did
opportunity.
did
Yeah.
McDermott resign from play calling because the freaking Kansas City Chiefs went into there and beat them? I mean,
Nope.
what's the deal? What's the excuse for getting rid of a top three defensive coordinator, all because for just to be spiteful? I mean, Shanahan's. This is another thing, that dirty secret about the Shanahan tree. They could be real spiteful at times. Low key spiteful. The things that they do undercover,
Oh,
the
100.
stuff that they do. You know,
Hello. Look
and,
at what they did with RG3. This is why I don't like his dad.
yeah. And another thing about, much as we gave crap about Greg Williams being dirty and getting bounty, they could have levied that same charge against the 49ers a couple of years ago when they was out there intentionally trying to hurt players for the freaking every single time, intentionally spearing
What
guys,
year was
they
that?
hitting guys. They could have been levied with the same charge that Greg Williams got charged with the
What year
Saints.
was that, Crypto?
This was I want to say this was the year that Herbert Justin Herbert got his ribs cracked by them. It was that year.
2020?
Yeah, either the twenty
That was
twenty
his
twenty
second
twenty one
year.
season.
No, no, no. That was
Yeah.
his second year. 2020,
Yeah.
2021,
So
2022 season. That was his
was
second year.
Shanahan
Because
out there
2020 is when
paying
he got
players
drafted. So yeah,
to
second
freaking
year.
give a bunch of dirty hits and helmet to helmet collisions, on a regular basis? I'm just saying. I brought
It
this
was
up
some.
even at that time. The low key sneaky stuff that they was doing on defense. I'd be like, oh man, they're so aggressive. No, that stuff was like they had like a bunch of Rodney Harrisons on their team, basically. But yet
Raheem Morris was the DC
the
that year.
yeah, he was. But he was probably paid $100,000 per dirty hit. I don't know. I'm just saying now I'm going into conspiracy theorist mode
You're going
now.
into
I'm just saying.
super conspiracy mode. But the whole, but this is my thing because this is what gets makes no sense to me. And even Woody was talking about Wilkes getting fired. He literally said Shanahan doesn't get it. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he doesn't because you don't fire
Wolf was
a
a good
top
guy.
three in his first year, and he already got you top three. Like this
First year
man,
after on
this
the job,
man,
right.
first year,
Mm-mm.
and on top of that too, how many games did they win, ladies and gentlemen?
You're right.
12
12.
games. 12 games, and if it wasn't for the fact that and then the three losses that they had, let's be real. Only really one of them was a bad loss, and that was the Bengals game, 31-17. But it was a coin flip
Well,
between them and the Browns that they lost 19-17, and the same thing versus the Vikings. They could have easily won those two. It was just they weren't able to do. Their offense literally produced only 17 points in those three losses. What more can your
so that was
defense
the
do when your
Shanahan
defense is
side of the
out
ball.
there 40 minutes?
Is he resigning? I don't know.
Exactly my
Maybe
point.
is he going to resign? I don't know. Maybe he should
I don't
resign.
know, but it makes me feel like I'm talking about the Dolphins. Is what it makes me feel like. Like I literally feel like I'm talking about the Dolphins right now. You know what I mean?
Really,
And I
other
think it's
than this
ridiculous.
goody two shoes mentality that he brings, you know, that I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, but they're going to constantly give him a pass
No,
because of the circumstance of him beating Detroit
the
because of
last
Dan
game.
Campbell and freaking LaFleur not putting the pedal to the metal in the first half to put that game away. You know, but that's what he get. That's what you're going to get. You know that
It's true.
interception. That was a play call that they called on the backside. That was a defensive coordinator that called that play to put that linebacker on that side of the field what Jordan Love threw on the other side to get that interception to close out that game. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. No, that's to me
he thinks
personally.
the next one next year is going to get him the first
Yeah,
rank, and then they're going to
exactly.
bow out
It
again in the
was just
playoffs,
like
right? I don't know, man. I'm confused about some of
not at
these
all.
rules.
Not at all. Like they're not gonna get a chance. They're not gonna get a chance. To me personally, who are you gonna get that's gonna get you top three again? Like right now, you don't move. You don't move from that. And by the way,
Yeah.
they were only top three because top two was 17.3 scoring defense. Top three was 17.5. They're only point 0.2 points away from being top two defense, and only point 0.3 points away from being the number one overall scoring defense. So yeah, to me personally, and that move made no sense to me. If anything, to me now it's gonna. I don't think they might actually be as good next year. To be honest with you,
Yeah, they
when
could
you have
have a
a
big drop off. Who knows? Freaking
have
Arizona
to,
Cardinals or Seattle might take over that division, or the Rams might resurge and become the leaders in that division. They didn't look too bad on offense down the stretch. They were starting to put things together to make that little playoff run that they made and got in there. So they think it's in the bag just because they can just willy nilly fire good defensive coordinators and expect to get by. Well, I got news for you.
yeah.
There's teams in your division that's creeping up on you, and definitely teams in that conference that's creeping up on you, like the Lions and the
Come on,
and the
man.
Packers.
I was gonna say you don't think the Lions are gonna go back there? To me, I got the Lions winning the division again, and I got them going far. Like
Right.
what is it? Not McDaniel. Sorry, Dan Campbell's gonna learn from his mistakes. He's gonna be able to gauge when should I be aggressive and not. Obviously, him being aggressive, that's just his nature, his fabric. That's the way he's built. But there are gonna be moments where he's gonna learn. Oh, you know what? Maybe here, let me take the points. You know what I mean? And that's part of growing as a head coach too. But to me, Mike Shanahan, this is what year? What? Seven, eight,
Seven,
ninth
eight,
year?
going to the eighth year.
Seven.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like say he's going into his eighth year, right? It's like,
yeah.
dude, what what are you doing? You could arguably say this is probably the best defense they've had in his entire tenure. He's had some really good
Yeah.
defenses,
That's brutal. That's who they lost to the last time they went to the Super Bowl.
but
Right.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I
Right.
just noticed that.
I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. The last time
31
they
to
won.
20 they lost the last time.
Right. 31-20. Yep. And that defensive coordinator didn't lose his job at that moment when they gave up 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter. Matter of fact, it was a bigger, even though it was the same 10-point spread that they gave up ultimately for the whole game,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more toward in the fourth quarter when the freaking Chiefs went on a 28-7 run or something like that. But
Yeah,
that
well, I
defensive
mean,
coordinator didn't get
yeah.
canned right after that game. So what's the reasoning now? Because Brock
I
Purdy
don't know,
failed
but KP brought it.
to hit an open man in the end zone?
KP brought a great point.
That
Maybe
was
there's
in Hard
something in
Rock,
the
by the
back.
way.
Maybe there's something else we don't know about behind the scenes. All I'm saying
Mhm.
is, as the
Yeah.
defensive coordinator, in his first year, the man was A
No
plus.
continuity. No continuity. I bet you if I was a Rams fan, I'll be happy about that.
Hey, Crypto, you know who their
Heck yeah,
DC
you're gonna be
was
happy
the
about
year they lost to the Chiefs?
The year
it.
they lost was it Morris or what's his name?
It was Robert Saleh.
Oh, Salah, yeah. So it's 3 straight years. That's right.
So,
Because
I don't
remember,
know if they fired him or if he just left because of another job or if it was
no, the
mutual.
Jet
No, that's
job
when
opened
Salah
up.
got promoted to head coach.
They
Right,
Hmm.
got
right,
hired head
but it,
coach.
Over the
right,
Jets. Yeah, he got hired as
right,
head
but
coach.
but if that job wasn't available, what would they have done? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, right.
That's a good
Would
Like
question.
he got
Salah have
lucky. Wilkes didn't get lucky, because Wilkes has already had a shot at that, so he didn't have anybody lining up to give him a job.
to give him a
Salah had
job like
somebody
the Jets
lining up
did?
because he's a young guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to
So
me,
they
the main
got as
problem
many
that they've
defensive
had is their
coordinators
defense.
as we got now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
Did I not tell you, Color, that we literally have Mike Shanahan is just the Mike McDaniel without the beard?
yeah.
If you take
Well,
a
they
look at
come
it,
from the
Yeah.
same place. You got to realize, Miss Finns, Mike McDaniel is not just friends with the whole tree. Like like Mike Shanahan coddled him in Denver coming up in the league. Like
Mm,
he's like Mike Shanahan's little
brother.
mm,
pet project. You know what I mean?
mm.
And
Yeah.
that's why he's been following that tree around his son around everywhere,
Mm,
and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just too many similar. And this is, I mean, to me personally, this is a lot that we've had.
Well, what I meant, Miss Fins, was it's one thing to say there's a similarity between Shanahan and somebody like Sean McVay, but when it comes to McDaniel and Shanahan, they are like you could look at it like Gladiator, right?
Yeah.
Kyle would be Commodus, and Mike McDaniel would be Maximus. Like the emperor was going to appoint the guy who wasn't his son because he saw him more of a son than his own son. You know,
Mm.
Yeah, it's still, to me, I was floored when I got the notification on my phone.
like
Mhm.
49ers
I'm
have
surprised
fired
Mike Shanahan didn't
DC.
officially
I was
adopt
like,
McDaniel.
Right.
oh, stop it, man.
Like that's what I mean.
See,
That's how close McDaniel is to the family. He's not like one of these other offshoots. He
Mm.
is the Shanahan
because
tree.
they've seen him at his best and his worst.
Yeah. Right.
So when you're that naked in front of somebody,
Yeah, you're a friend of the family.
um,
That's what he is. He's a true friend of the
yeah,
family. Like,
yeah, they've seen you bare.
he
I don't
probably
mean
been to every
physically,
one
but
of
you
their
know what I mean.
Christmas
Like,
dinner or been to every one of their Thanksgiving dinners and whatever else. And oh, when are
Right.
you going to be a coach one day, little Mikey? Like everybody,
Hmm.
all the family magnates coming in. Oh, Mikey, how's it going? Pinch his cheeks. When are you going to be a coach?
Yeah.
seriously.
Right.
But that's something that you gotta do. What's up? Dolphin State of Mind, welcome, buddy. Welcome, welcome. If you want to come up here, I dropped the link,
It'd
guys,
be funny. McDaniel's
because
probably laughing right now.
love it.
God, how does that color know everything?
Mm,
We're good
yeah.
speculators. What's up, G man? How you doing? What's up, G? No, but seriously, like thinking about it, that's what got me the most. Like, what? The defense was not the problem. You have a Super Bowl caliber defense. It wasn't your run game. You had a very young quarterback who, to me, played very poised. Yes, has to take some lickings because there were times I'm like, bro, you missed this guy. That's ridiculous. You had opportunities. So I blame Brock Purdy too. But the one I blame the most has to be Kyle Shanahan,
Yeah, I
in
mean,
my
you're
opinion.
absolutely to me, they were outclassing the Chiefs in the first half.
Dude,
Like
they
I
were
honestly there's so many
destroying
times
them.
where I thought this game is over. They're not even like, this is gonna be done. And they
They were
just couldn't put
destroying
the
them.
ball in the end zone. It's like, are you telling me what was the score at halftime? Like, really?
Well, the problem with that, there was
Ten to
no
three.
separation on the scoreboard. That's why you can't do
That's
that
what I'm
against the
saying.
Chiefs. You can't do that.
That's what
You
I'm
need to
saying.
be
I
up
I'm
by
felt
they
like
three,
very
four
well had the
scores.
I'm like,
opportunity.
damn, you
They
can't
had
be
the
Can't
up
do
by
that.
seven.
opportunity to be up by like 20 by halftime.
21. It should have been 21
No,
to 3 by halftime. I'm like, you
Same
can't
story
give
in
well, I don't
him
know if
you
it
Nashville.
was
can't
We're
give him
sitting
that
there
21.
at halftime
opportunity.
going, we should be up by by 3 scores right now. That's the same story we have.
And telling it's like I'm
There's
having a
games
knee
where
jerk reaction.
whether it's good opponents or bad opponents, I don't know, but it just seems like when we don't show up, we just don't show like we do the same thing. We lose the same way. We leave a bunch of points all over the field when it should be easy. Like the way we're moving the offense, what's 5 more yards into the end zone? You know?
Yeah, that last series to me
But
pissed
it
me
gets
off the
crowded down
most.
there.
It
Yeah, I
pissed me off the
understand.
It's
You
easy to
get,
most
play
I
more
get
than
defense.
that,
anything
Crypto.
else.
I get that. Sure.
And I blame again Kyle Shanahan. I blame him for that last series. Like, what the heck are you doing, sir? Like your run game has been working like a mother, and you make it to the red zone essentially,
Mhm.
and you let me put it to you this way: the second to left, because obviously they got the ball back. That field goal they scored should have been a touchdown, in my opinion. It should have been a touchdown. How do you go 4th and 5 at the Kansas City 35? Why? You get
Yeah, it totally ruined my
prior to
game
the field goal.
script, Miss Phins.
It's like bro, that entire series on 7 plays, fine. Purdy in a shotgun, deep pass
No,
on
they
the left
kicked
to
a long field
Jennings,
goal on that
great,
drive.
caught it. No, I know, but this is my problem. It should have never been a field goal. At the 35, what are you doing in 3rd and 5? Why are you after you stop? You literally stop your own progression where okay, it's 3rd and 5, you're getting a free timeout with the 2-minute warning. And what the heck do you do? Out of all the plays you could have made, you pick out of the shotgun. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. McDuffie did a phenomenal play, but that was a horrible play call, in my opinion, from um from Kyle Shanahan when it was a
Shanahan.
short throw.
What play are
Yeah,
you talking
off
about?
the because it's the 3rd and 5 after the 2-minute warning when they coming back from that 2-minute warning. Okay, Purdy's in the shotgun. He's throwing a short pass to the left to Jennings. And Trent McDuffie was ready to literally, it was like bang, bang play. I'm like, why are you, out of all the flipping plays, it's 3rd and 5. You're in a 4th down territory. Bro, Put CMC and let him get you 3, 4 yards. And then if you're 4th and 1, you run that sucker again and you get another first down and you go for the. You see what I mean? How do you, at the end of the flipping game, you do everything you're supposed to? You're killing the clock. You're moving the ball down the field. You're getting your players involved, both passing and running. You do what you're supposed to do. You get it down to the 2-minute warning. You get 2 minutes plus a TV timeout and some lame ass little pass to the left is what you call out of all the plays you could have done at the 35-yard line? Are you flipping kidding me? I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I'm like, everybody get away from me. I couldn't believe it. The play calling from Kyle Shanahan was insane to me at that moment. I'm like, do you not see what Christian McCaffrey did for you? You give him the ball. He literally went 2 plays before for 5 yards to get you to the 35. Give him the ball again. Let him get you another 3, 4 yards. Or go for the first. I was
Well,
so
let me
like,
allow me to
oh,
play double. Allow me to play devil's advocate. Maybe because
God.
it worked. It worked. That play worked in the first quarter. But I'll say this: later on in the game, on
Stop.
third
Don't
and
talk to me, bro. Don't touch him.
on 3rd and 5, he
At the
actually did
35.
hand. No, I'm talking about inside the red zone. He gave it to Christian McCaffrey. He got blown up in the backfield, and then he went for it on 4th down. What did he do? He put Brock Purdy in the shotgun and threw it to his tight end and got the first down. A lot of people forget about that series, that when he did put the ball in Brock Purdy's hand and Brock Purdy converted on that 4th down play after Christian McCaffrey got blown up in the backfield, which is their best player. So even giving it to your blessed player
Hmm.
doesn't always work 100% of the time, as that play showed. And Kyle Shanahan said, okay, fine. I got another play to go to one of our other best players, and that was Kittle. One of his rare moments in the whole game, he converts it on 4th down and 5, or 4th and 3, or something. It was a 4th down inside the
I
red
remember
zone.
that play.
It just that they didn't. They ended up converting
Hmm.
for a
Awesome.
score on that drive. So even then, even the inevitable plays that may seem so obvious doesn't always work, because that 3rd down play, he did give it to his best player, McCaffrey, and he got blown up in the backfield.
It was a
So yeah,
completely
so
different
he went to his bread and
and
butter
was that in
with
the
the play.
overtime? Because I don't remember.
This was in the second half, in the fourth quarter, third
I don't
quarter.
believe. Okay, yeah.
It was early in the
Hold on,
fourth
sorry.
when on that drive when they scored that touchdown and went up 19, and then
Okay,
they
no, I
got the
remember
block
that
punt.
same drive. I remember that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that was on 3rd down. That was a 4th down conversion they
I
had
get
down
that.
there. Yeah, I'm just saying that sometimes coaches go to what they think worked earlier in the game, and then they go back to it, and sometimes the defenses snuff it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, it
not
also
when
changed. It also
you're.
changed too when Greenlaw went out too.
I'm not.
Well,
No excuses to injury. Everybody
no,
deal
because
with
they're
injuries.
deep enough and they've overcome games with him being out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
The
it
issue
comes
was
back to
he should have
yeah, it
gone with
does come back
McCaffrey.
to not because I work in a factory
That ain't
full of
changed
Niner
because
fans,
their side
full
of
of Niner
yeah, that
fans.
side of the ball doesn't negate the fact that even with him out, the Kansas City Chiefs was missing their best tackle the entire game. So if you can't
Yeah,
overcompensate for them missing one of their
Thuney.
best players on the line, then there's no pity for you missing one of your best defenders on the other side of the ball.
no, yeah,
Exactly.
but
That's why I don't. I'm not. That's why
yeah,
I don't give no excuse with that.
Yeah,
yeah,
My
because
yeah.
problem
That
is
why
that
should
at
that
that
why
point it
why
was
should why should one team need 100% of all of their best players, and the other team needs to have less players on a talent standpoint in order for you to match up against them? To me, in my
yeah, no,
mind, one cancels out the other.
yeah, I understand that, but you even see it on the playback. Mahomes found that out, and that's when he started going to Kelsey more because he knew that one linebacker was out.
No, they had
Uh,
the one drag route that they didn't go to, and they was putting Pacheco in the game and getting him early. He didn't throw a lot of passes in the first half, versus he increased his pass total from the second half of the second quarter all the way through to the end of the game in overtime. His pass production increased. That was way before Greenlaw even got out of the game.
I don't think so. I think it was right when because Greenlock pulled his ace toward his Achilles
No, because
tendon
they started throwing the
coming
ball
in.
at the end of the second quarter. He didn't go out until the third quarter when Greenlaw got out.
Oh, well, all I know
So
is I work for a full fans full of 49er fans, and I told them the only way that they were going to have a shot is if they use Kittle and wear down that defense, and they didn't use Kittle at
they didn't,
all.
because Andy Reid and Spagnola know how to play defense, how to defend against your best players.
Kittle was hurt
Kittle
by
was shut
the
out as
first
well as
by the second quarter.
Debo Samuel. Let's not act like it was only Kittle that was shut out. Debo Samuel got shut out too, because that secondary only gave up a total of 62 yards against everybody's best receivers throughout the entire season. The highest output against that secondary all season long was 62 yards
Yeah.
by any given star receiver, and they played up the best of them all year.
Mm.
It's more so Spagnola knows the hell what he doing at given times of the moment of the game, and it's situational.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. I had two parlays. I had a 4-leg and an 8-leg, and all of them hit, but the George Kittle touchdown. I could have had like $3,200 off of $40. That's funny. I was surprised he didn't use Kittle more though. I should have used him more often and more sooner and more frequent.
You only can go with your logical. That's why I was saying sometimes the defense baits you into thinking that you are successful against certain individuals, to bait you to go into one individual, and that's when they got you. It could all be bait and switch.
I don't know, but Kittle's a
Some
player
people
that
may
you
think
can't
you're
bait
getting
and switch.
successful
He's
with one
up no
person,
matter what.
and you don't. Because the moment they would try to force feed it to Kittle, it would have been a lot more turnovers for Brock Purdy. I can pretty much be certain of that.
I don't know. I can't say that's true because I don't think the Kansas City linebackers would have the answer for Kittle because he's just too big and strong. And they kept using him in the run game
It
because the
ain't got
run
nothing to
game
do
was
with the
working.
linebackers. They will put their cornerbacks on them or safety players on. It's a
Well, you see,
total
that's the
team
thing
effort
too.
by the
That's the thing.
secondary.
Yeah, that's the thing too. When you put quarterbacks and safeties on Kittle, he eats them up. So that's why I don't understand some of.
Apparently, it didn't work against them, because Kittle was not the only good tight end that the Chiefs played all season either.
Well, I'm just saying, there's only one Kittle, and in
They
my
just shut
opinion,
out.
he's the
They just
best.
the previous week. They just shut out Likely and Mark Andrews the previous
Well,
week.
Mark Andrews came back from that injury.
Yeah,
This is a fresh game
that
back.
doesn't mean he did doing the whole job. He was fully healthy, and Likely was playing pretty good in his absence, and he didn't do nothing that much neither.
I would say they could have used Kittle more. I'm telling you, Kittle, if they would have went to him more often and sooner, they would have won that game. But
Yeah, force feeding the issue would have been more
you
turnovers,
don't
and
see
Kansas
that's the
City
thing
would have
too.
won than
You
a
don't have the
likely
force feed
turnover.
when you have McCaffrey. You do a couple runs and then it opens up the pass.
Yet again, bait and switch. He had the ball 30 times. He touched the ball 30 times that game, which is more than enough, much more of a lion's share to be able to say that that's enough distribution to your best player on the field, and while everybody else gets capped.
The best player on the field is
Christian
not
McCaffrey
McCaffrey. It's Kittle.
touched the ball 30 times, which is a high production.
Yeah, yeah, but
Once again, bait and switch is called picking your poison. Bait and switch will suffer allowing McCaffrey to touch the ball, but I'm not letting these individuals touch the ball. It's a matter of picking your poison.
Yeah,
That's the poison they chose to pick, and they were successful in doing it.
and it didn't help him too that the only person that had a touchdown pass in the first quarters was Jennings. on both sides. How does a
What?
receiver have a touchdown pass in the first quarter alone? That's crazy.
Well, yeah, that play came off straight trickery on
Yeah,
the first one that went 50 yards in the air down the field. Had the running back linebacker took a different angle. That was a pick six. He went on the other side of the blocker. The
yeah. I
ball took
just
it was damn near like a punt getting to McCaffrey on the other side of the field. And plus on that play, it was the center was illegally downfield on that play.
well, they
I
both got
saw
weighted
the I saw
calls.
a lot of lined up offside, but that's not gonna get called anymore. But
Well, that whole
Yeah, but I'm
season, this
saying
whole
on that
season, they had
touchdown, it would
the
have been
Chiefs had
it would have been 3-0 or 3-3 at halftime.
yeah. See, the Chiefs had, and that's a problem too. This whole season, the Chiefs had that right tackle 75 always getting called for false start because they said he was too deep, going too deep. But if you look at it, he's not. He wasn't too deep than any other tackle. So I don't understand that too. But whatever. It you could you could have went either way with it. I just thought they should have got Kittle more involved.
I don't know. I just
Because
still feel
Kittle,
like in that 3rd and 5,
I didn't think he had
we
no
should have
choice. It was
not
police
we.
bags that
They
allowed that game to be the way it was.
Yeah, but he had
yeah,
the opportunity to let CMC touch it and try to get you at least 2 to 3, man.
well,
And I'm telling you right now, instead of them kicking that field goal and leaving a minute 50 on the field for the at the end of regulation, uh, to me personally, had they, because look, you did nothing in 2 downs and you had the 2-minute warning. Like, what are we
yep.
doing? At least, if you ran the ball, even if it's a negative yards, the clock is still going, forcing them to take timeout. Do you see what I mean? So at
Yeah,
least you
and
get
then they can,
something out of it. But no, we're gonna give them 100. We're gonna give them a minute, 50 seconds, and and both timeouts they had left. Like, come on, man, that's on the
and the
head
Niners were
coach.
claiming that they didn't know the
That's bad
overtime
management.
rules. That's coaching.
Oh, and then not being prepared for overtime. That's on the
Yeah,
head coach
that's
as well.
coaching right there,
That's
buddy.
insane.
Sorry, that's not like that.
How do you have
Dude,
players literally come out at the end of the game and say, "Oh, we didn't know the overtime rules"?
yeah, it's
What the
dead
hell?
serious.
And
The
that was
Super
capped because
Bowl,
the referee sat there and explained to him the rules prior to flipping the freaking coin. So that's no
the
Not
coach should
excuse.
have
all
known
the
from the
players, to
gate.
two dudes.
Yeah, the coach should have known from the gate. It's a Super Bowl. Get your act together. What the hell?
Yeah,
Even
I'm
if you
I'm
look
Should
at
not
have
the
ran that
buying
first
that.
Super
early.
Bowl,
That was a cop out. The coach knows
yeah,
the rule. That was the first time in 2 years that those actual playoff overtime rules was implemented. You had 2 full years to know the rules. No
yep.
excuse.
That was. I thought that was funny. I just know that factory because there's a lot of Niner fans, but there's only like 2, 3 Chiefs fans. Boy, the Chief fans were stacking their money.
Yeah, it was the
No.
Buffalo
Good
Bills
night,
that
G-Man.
implemented that rule 2 years ago. So the Chiefs knew the
This
rule because
stupid
they
Buffalo
Bills
Bill.
cried about it, and there's no reason
Yeah.
for the Niners
Exactly.
not to know the rule anyways.
Well, now they're
Yeah,
asking
but
for
at
they
the end of
want a
the
different
day,
coach.
my point was kill the clock. Force them to take the timeouts. You know what I mean? And even if it would have been like a 4th and 3 or a 4th and 2,
Hmm.
you're in a much better position because you're taking at least their timeouts away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm okay with maybe play action or something different. It was bad calling. You had the 2 minutes. You had the TV timeout to come back and to have that be your play. Like, oh, I'm gonna outsmart. He outsmarted himself. It's like,
Yeah.
no, bro, less is more. Sometimes go back to what works. If McCaffrey needs to get another 2 down, in my opinion, this is a Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
And to
That's yeah.
me, it was at the
The
end of
team that gets the ball
regulation,
second has the
bad
opportunity to have
clock
4 downs.
management in those 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
I
get the ball
just
second, you got the 4 downs on
But
your side,
both,
and you know what he not scored. But see, the thing was, they said Andy Reid said they was going to go for the 2-point conversion had they scored a touchdown to tie it. It was going to be all or nothing, not no matter what. They weren't going to allow
That's
the game to
fine.
be tied. They were going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Why would you do that in an unlimited overtime game?
There's no reason to do it, but they that's what was
Yeah,
said
Patrick
that they was
Mahomes.
going to
Patrick
go for it
Mahomes
all
can
or
get a
nothing.
bootleg to the
And,
left and
and
right.
whether it
Right.
works out or not, it's still the wrong thing to do, and it's the same mistake
Yeah,
Campbell
so
made. There's no reason
Yeah.
to in the
that's
game.
being aggressive like Dan Campbell.
The game is infinitely long if each team keeps matching each other. Like, why would you
Yeah.
just say, okay, I'm not going to match you this time, or I'm going to take a risk of not
Yeah,
this time? When
I
the
get that, but they
literally
didn't want
go on into the next day.
they
If
didn't want the sudden death. That's why.
but
I
that's
got
my
a
point,
question.
though.
What's
I
going on with
understand that,
Tua?
but they was thinking the sudden death aspect of it.
What's going on with Tua now?
It just makes no sense for an infinite overtime. Like they could have been
No,
playing.
Phins too.
They could
Now we're not
still
gonna
be
talk about
playing
that
right
right now.
now if they would have kept matching each other. They will not end the game in a tie. I
Yeah.
don't understand this
No.
mentality of trying to avoid the tie.
No. It's sudden death after they both tie it.
I
Then the
get
next
it.
score wins.
I get that. I'm talking about you were saying that they were going to go for two.
After they tie it at 7, they get a chance to tie it with a touchdown. But with San Francisco get it, they only need a field goal to win the game.
Because it's sudden death. You get one
It's
possession
sudden death
each.
after both of them get the ball once.
So if they
I
both
understand. So why
get
are you going to
touchdowns, so
take
they
the
both
risk
get
and go for
kicks,
two and not
then
tie it
whoever
up?
scores next.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Why
They
are you gonna spend your last non-sudden death chance? Why
Right,
are
I
you gonna
get that part.
make
Yeah,
it sudden death?
that's even more
Yeah,
risk. Yeah,
that part I get.
yeah, that part. Yeah, because you might come up with a stop on defense and you can win.
Right. It don't have to be sudden death until it has to be. Why? I don't get that mentality from Campbell either. Like it doesn't have to be sudden death until it's sudden death.
Right. Yeah, I understand that
Mm.
part. Yeah, the logic behind it because your defense can stop them, and then you could be kicking the game winning
You're
field goal.
forcing sudden death right there. You're saying I'm creating a sudden death situation. If I get
Right.
it, we win. If I don't,
Exactly.
we lose.
Right.
When you didn't have to yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. You didn't have to,
Essentially,
but I don't know
it's
why
what Dan Campbell did when he
why they
didn't need
wanted to
to.
go for 2.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what Campbell did. Yeah.
Yeah, going forward
But
you could just tie it and go to overtime.
exactly, but he didn't, and that's
Now,
why he
if there
lost
was a
the
potential for a tie, and because of league standings, you can't afford a tie, then yeah, play for the win. Or if you're in the regular season and it's late in the season and you're injury riddled and you want to get out of that game without playing another 10 minutes, win or lose, you know what I mean? Where you're willing to
Well,
lose
yeah.
because you don't want to play another 10 minutes.
Nothing's really at stake. Yeah, you do that.
Right. But
yeah, I don't know
the
why
game has no
Reed would have said he going for the 2, but yeah, that wouldn't be wise at that
I
point.
mean, if the game can't end in a tie and you're
Yeah,
faced with the ability to tie it, you tie it. You know what I mean? Like, if you still have the ability to tie it, then you tie it. It's that simple. The game cannot end in a tie.
And the 49ers want to hand Kyle
No,
Shanahan
he
gone,
just didn't
too.
want the sudden death. That's the part that he didn't want.
Yeah.
He wanted to say, I'm winning
Yeah,
or
but then
losing on one play.
Color,
Exactly, but that's what I'm
okay,
saying.
yeah, that's what it is.
And you lost on one play when you could have lost
Right.
with 20 more opportunities.
Yeah.
He just took the opportunities away from his team. Maybe the team should decide to do that, not the coach.
Well, the coach should
Well,
know too.
Nobody's overruling Andy Reid.
No, I'm
Yeah, I was
talking
gonna
about
say,
if
I'm
it's like
fine.
regular season, that's one thing. But when you're talking about a game that cannot end in a tie, you're taking the chances away from those 46 professional men on your field.
Yep.
Yeah.
What right does that one
I'm with
professional
you, man. I
have
totally
to
get
make
it.
over those other professionals in that situation?
Well, it beats me. Big Red said so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't, and that's why to me it's a fireable offense.
yeah, but
And it shouldn't have been. And again, it shouldn't have been the DC to be the one to have gotten fired. The
That's the
defense
overarching
was
point, Miss
never
Fins.
the
If
issue.
anybody's going to get fired, exactly. I don't think it's a fireable offense. I shouldn't have said it that way. But if anybody gets fired, which somebody did, it shouldn't be the defensive coordinator.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I just know
Spagnola
all
will
I
be
know
out
is
of a
the two
job.
to the 49ers too. They don't want Kyle Shanahan no more.
Yeah,
I'll
They're
well,
take
done.
imagine
Spagnola as a
that.
defensive
Imagine if
coordinator.
Andy Reid went for the 2 and they lost the game there, and
Man,
then they
that
go
Yeah.
would
and
be
fire Spags over it.
insane.
Like, really,
Yeah,
it would
that
be
yeah,
so
that's
obvious to people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why crypto and I refer to what they're doing to us as gaslighting, because this stuff is so obvious to us. It's not like we're imagining this and that and the other. It's like, no, it's obvious. So if you're sitting
Yeah.
there going, no, Vic Fangio is the worst DC to ever play the game, that's
Yeah.
gaslighting.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of crazy to go down that route. We have to now believe
Oh,
that
he didn't get
Fangio
along
wasn't
with
the
the
guy for us.
players. Like, I wouldn't expect the boss to get along with the players.
How
I
all of a
get
sudden
along
he's
with
not
my
the guy
boss
for us?
either.
I don't get it, Miss Fins. How is he not the guy for us after one season? I don't get it.
I, that's the part that I'm like. Now, don't get me wrong.
Um,
Sticking to
I'm
the
confused.
Niners. If it's one season, you don't do that.
Yeah, maybe
You don't
next
do
year,
that.
after they lose bad 45-0 in the wild card round, then yeah, you get rid of them.
But
You
you don't
know?
do that, in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry, not
Or if they
sorry.
were up by 28 and the defense just started giving up everything,
Then that's
Yeah.
like they
different.
did in Atlanta.
Or like Staley did in with the Chargers.
Oh God, don't talk about the friggin' that
They
man.
talking about, speaking of that, that's who's supposed to be replacement. That's what they talk to as being a replacement. Staley gonna be the replacement for the Niners guy.
what?
Or let's say if the
Yeah, that's what
offenses
they
are
talking about
matching
as
each
being a
other all
replacement.
day, and then all of a sudden your defense
Staley.
can't stop a nosebleed at the end. That's a
Right.
defense problem.
I don't know how Staley is gonna be the answer for them, but I'm picking them to finish last if Staley's their coordinator. That'll be the wrong move. That wouldn't be wise at all. That would be going backwards if I was them.
Well, that's
You know what the
if.
shame is? Because I never knew him before the last couple of seasons. And I keep thinking, I keep wanting to call him
Mhm.
Deuce Staley, but Deuce Staley was actually a good player in the NFL. So it's wrong of me to transpose their names like that.
Well,
Hey,
thank
who's
you,
a good
sir.
player?
Deuce Staley.
Oh, Deuce. Yeah, Deuce is. But
Wasn't he an Andy Reid running back with
yeah,
Philly?
he played for the Philly. Yeah, he was under Reed back in the day with McNabb. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a
Well,
good combination. They should have won. I wonder had he won. Speaking about butterfly effect, I think Andy Reid wouldn't even be the coach of the Chiefs if he won that one Super Bowl with them that year with
hey, what's up,
McNabb.
Joe?
Yeah, he
Ooh,
would
if
stay
they
the
would have
same.
won the Super Bowl,
He would,
yeah, I don't
yeah,
think they would
he would
have.
have
Doug
stayed in Philly.
Peterson wouldn't have a Super Bowl ring.
Yep, Peterson wouldn't have. Well, yeah, that butterfly effect. All he needed to do was win that one. That would have trickled downhill. Reed would have been there an additional 10 years, or still there now. you know, who knows? They probably
Yeah,
Mahomes not even drafted by that team. He's probably with another franchise. Maybe he's in Buffalo. Who knows?
that's crazy.
So crazy
I
stuff
mean,
that could have
we've
happened.
already gone down this rabbit hole. Like, we live going down rabbit holes. That's not
Right,
part of
that's
what
what
I
I'm saying.
don't
I love the
trust.
butterfly effect experiment, Miss Fins. We could trace one event in history that trickles down that you have a totally different NFL right now.
Jeez, and it would affect so many different teams too. Like that's the crazy part. But shoot, man, I know. Finch 209 wants to talk to. I don't know if I want to be dealing with that right now. To be honest with you, like
A
All I
seventy
said
I
million
was,
don't know.
dollar
what
contract.
do you guys hear about? Because I heard about he's asking for 50 million.
That would be an agent thing, positioning. That's probably solely on his agent right now. That's trying to
50
jockey, just trying to roll a flag up the pole to see what's the what the atmosphere like around it. I think that's why they throwing out these numbers. To be honest, I don't think nobody even got into the table yet. To be honest, that's just my personal
Get the hell
belief.
out of here.
I don't even know if they got into the
$50
table.
million. 50 million, dude. Like I just
Yeah, I think they're just throwing numbers out there to see what the reaction is going to be like in the public. They testing the waters
yeah.
when they throw numbers out there
Uh,
like that. Greer and his
Me
agent probably ain't
personally,
really sat
I
down at
don't
the
agree.
table yet.
We'll
They're
see.
just trying
50's
things
too
out.
much.
No, no, I could be wrong. I think they do that to see how everybody's going to handle it, what kind of backlash they're going to get, and then they probably working from there. They probably going to sit down at the table right before the
Yeah.
draft or after the draft. Just see what they're going to do.
My,
I think nothing's happening until May or
I
June, to
don't
be
know
honest.
why they have to raise a
Time
flag
will
up. They
tell.
know that they could say 100 million a year, and the Tua fans will go out there
That's true
and
too.
preach
somehow
for
still
it.
complain.
Yeah, they would. They pound the table for it at a heartbeat,
Somehow still
color. They
complain
would
about how
a
it's
hundred
not
billion.
enough,
That well, you're right. They'll say it's not enough.
and somehow, yeah,
100 million per year
he's not
guaranteed for
supposed
two
to be
seasons.
getting this.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie. We could
Yep.
technically pay him like a Kirk Cousins. Make it just a 2-year situation, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I would feel good about that. We're already paying him next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's on the
So what's
cover. He's
wrong
on
with
the contract, G. He's on the contract already, G. To that point, you got the controllers in your hand if he's already on the contract. Unless he wants to rip up his contract now and hold out, then
Or
that
go
would
the
be on
somewhere
holding
else,
out
please.
good?
suicide.
Thank God, go somewhere else. Or go somewhere else. Thank God. Hopefully, he goes somewhere else.
Well, yeah, you're right. He can go somewhere else. You're right. He can do that. That's in his power too. He could say, "I'm ripping up my contract. I'll go elsewhere." Yeah, he can do that. That's true.
He could hold out too, but if he wanted to go ahead and hold out, man, let's change
Yeah,
this.
you're right.
League wide Wednesday. Let me do it this.
Well, if he holds out, that doesn't that's not, that could be a good thing because they gave a chance to Skylar Thompson or whoever to come in.
Yeah, that
If
gives
he
you a
were to
chance to
hold
actually go
out,
into this year's drought and maneuver for an actual quarterback in that sense. Yes, you're
yeah,
right. That gives
that's
you
the
the
only
power
thing
to
that
do
I
that.
would say. It would really give you the opportunity to see what you got in your other
Skyler and
In
or
your
other.
another
arsenal, yeah.
a
Yeah,
guy at 21. That's probably
that's
what
really where.
makes Tua's camp fearful of doing a power move like that and holding out because he know Greer can easily just go in and get his replacement. But
That
that's
would
why he
be
probably
that,
won't
that
hold
would
out.
be a gift.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
a gift for us.
if he holds
Oh,
out, yeah, that would be
please,
him and give him the power to Greer to say,
please
"Fine, you
hold
hold out,
out so I
fine."
can test out my
Yeah.
He will be literally,
so I can
actually,
test out
technically,
my other quarterback.
he will be letting Greer off the hook. He will be
And I
giving
was just
Greer an
gonna say
out.
this. I was just gonna say the same thing, crypto. Hey, it ain't my fault he didn't work out. The guy didn't want to take our offer.
Right, he will be literally giving Greer an
We
out,
gave him a
serving on a silver platter.
fair market value. That's what they're gonna say. We gave him a fair market value. He felt that
Right,
it was
In all
poor, but we
reality,
were
we
thinking
did
about the
because he
team.
didn't win a playoff game yet.
right, right.
In all
Yeah,
reality, he did.
he will be handing up Greer a big old steak on a silver platter with
Are
that
you
kind of a move.
kidding me? I get to test out my shiny new toy
It
with
could
that
be
has
what Greer's
playoff
counting on.
experience.
Before
That
Christmas?
that's true
What?
too. They're probably counting
Before
on it.
Christmas?
Greer, actually, you know what? Ironically, Greer might get the extension if Tua does that. They
Bro,
would
if Tua
extend
did
Greer.
that,
They were like,
man, if
okay,
Tua
we're
did
giving you
that, I'm
another
like,
5 years to get
I
this thing together. Go get us
am
a
with you.
quarterback.
You are worth so much more money, sir. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the biggest Tua of life. You will never see anybody. You know what, Tua? You deserve that money, sir. And you need to go ahead and make sure that you get that money. You know what I
Man,
mean?
that would be
Man, I'm gonna
insane.
be the
That would be a
biggest.
crazy turn of events.
That would be. I just don't
It
think
could
that he
happen
can
though.
afford
It's not that
that though.
far from happening because he could, like I said, he could not want that contract and go somewhere else.
And then go somewhere.
Well,
Would the Commanders do that?
let's do a let's do a little logical exercise real quick. We extended the guy to his 5th year, so we
Hmm.
set his value. At that point, he had not completed a full season. Okay, so at that point, we said you're worth X amount of dollars. Has he done anything to be worth more than that? Well, he completed a full season healthy. Okay, so now we're going to throw a bag at a guy when we could have done that
Who did his
last year
job? Who did
based
his
on
job? What he's supposed to do, which is be
potential
available for.
of improving at the position now, because that wasn't an issue before. It was only getting healthy. And what I'm trying to say is we're going to throw a bag at a guy who earned it by being healthy a whole year. Like, if that's all you got to do to get a $200 million is just to be healthy for a whole year.
Watch out! I'm gonna join the draft
So
next year
my
if that
Well,
point is,
sign
happens.
me up. I want to be. I
Yeah,
want to be
sign me.
signed up
here's
for
Exactly.
the
1 year.
logic.
I'm in the
Here's the
draft
logic.
next year if that
But
happens.
hold on. Here's the logic. Okay,
Bro,
if we pay
tell
that
me about
money,
it,
does
man.
he have any more or less potential of getting injured out of the game because he completed 17 games this year? Is he
G, get
less
up here, man.
likely to
I
get
know you're
injured now?
you're itching to come up here, man.
Is he
I
no
opened up
longer
the
human?
panel, buddy. Come up here, G.
Hold
I
on.
know you want to.
Is he no longer human? Does he no longer have the potential of not finishing a season? So it had to be more than just finishing a whole season. Okay. And
Yeah, I think so too.
if we were gonna pay all that money based on raw potential and what we hope he could be, then we would have done that last year and we would not have exercised the 5th year option. I keep
I'm
trying to
of the
tell y'all,
camp
we
of
set
I
his
still think
value by
he's got.
exercising the 5th year option. We said to him, we want you to play here on your 5th year, but we only think you're worth this amount of money, so that we're extending your 5th year option. Now, if being healthy a whole year earns you a little bit more, cool. But nothing's changed. If you were going to pay on potential of him becoming as good as the rest of his contemporaries, then you would have just paid that last year.
I see where you're coming from, but I still
True.
feel like part of me still feels like um
And if they were saying, hey, you bet on yourself then to it, and he did, well, then he lost the bet. Because if you're telling me that $200 million hinges on whether a quarterback can be healthy for 17 games, well, there's a lot of quarterbacks that can do that.
that
A
is
lot.
true.
Yeah, as far as
That's
playing
not
17
a
games,
big
that's the
thing.
standard.
That's our little problem, that we have a quarterback that couldn't finish the season. That was our little problem. That ain't the
Yeah.
norm. So what
Right.
makes
It
anybody
shouldn't be
think
the norm, you know what I mean?
because he struggled out 17 games that he's going to finish all 17 next year? Why are we paying a guy based on that alone?
We
It's
should.
ridiculous.
Well, you shouldn't have to, Color.
Well, I was just gonna say you shouldn't have to, but that's the predicament we are
When
as
did
the
at the
Dolphins.
negotiation table, when did Joe Burrow's people ever say, well, he finished a whole season, there is that. Okay, let's give him
Right.
250 million bucks.
Right. It was never based on finishing the season. Right. even though he had
Yeah,
not
it's
finished the
talent,
season in
man.
one of
It's
his
talent.
first
I
three,
mean,
right?
But the thing,
Mike Glenn. Let's
I
say
am,
Mike Glennon comes in. We go 0-17. Well, he finished
I
17
am of the
games. Give
type
him
to
200
say that
million.
I still think
Right,
Tua
Mike
does
Glennon.
have. I still think he's able to develop. I will say that, me personally.
Okay,
I've seen the
and
flashes. I need the consistency. That's my problem with
Okay.
him. That's my
It
problem
has
with
he
him.
has the
It's the lack
potential
of
to develop,
consistency.
right? So let's imagine you bought half of a Ferrari. Would you pay full price for it?
No, I'm gonna pay half.
I'd pay even less than half because I have to build the thing.
It's a
mm,
good analogy, sir. Good analogy. I'm not mad. I see where you're coming from.
mm.
I mean, I don't
I
understand
see where
this
you're coming
giving a
from.
bag to a project. Like really?
But
It's a project QB.
I'm about the
Well,
team.
what do
You
you
know
have
what I
to say,
mean?
Color, about them saying that he's still developing?
That's what I'm saying. It's a project
I think he
QB.
is.
That's
So,
third,
so
fourth
what do
rounder,
we give?
third or
What do
fourth
we?
rounder. You do
What do
that
we?
for
What do we give to developmentals versus somebody who's fully developed?
$6 million bucks.
Stop, color.
Well, that's a developmental. No, he gave me the definition
Well,
of
Mike White
God
can't
developmental.
develop
dang,
anymore.
bro.
Mike White can't develop anymore. We just gave him 3.
Right. So versus fully developed,
Color, you
that's
go
when you
for
pay
the
him the
throat,
big bucks.
man.
Well, wait a minute,
Fully
Miss Phins.
developed,
There's a
fully
range.
developed, doesn't finish a whole season, deserves more bag than not developed, finished a whole season. Just my opinion. Hey, I
Right.
could be
Meaning
wrong.
you
Yeah,
don't have
but
to
you
finish
see,
the whole
if we're gonna
season if
talk
you're
Joe
fully
Burrow,
developed.
look at Burrow. He's been injured every season
That's what
he's
I'm
been in the
saying,
league,
Miss
That's what
though.
Finn.
he's that's what
That's
he
what I'm
that's what he's
saying.
saying.
Complete package that hasn't finished the season yet gets the bag. Incomplete package who finished a whole season gets the bag?
Yeah. Well, he's been in the Super
Really?
Bowl. Burrow's
Yeah, that
been to the
means
Super Bowl.
meaning he's a complete package, but even though he never finished the
But
season.
if finishing a whole season was all it took to get a bag, Baker
Man, a lot of
Mayfield,
people gonna get paid. Yeah, a lot of people gonna get paid on that one.
who
Yeah,
has
that's true.
who has 2 playoff wins.
Yeah, people tend to forget
Yeah.
But
that.
he's
They
not.
love to forget that.
If you think Baker Mayfield's going to come in here and compete with Tua and it's a real long-term solution, blah blah blah, why not? He's won 2 playoff games
Mm-hmm. And he literally does
Well,
everything Tua
okay.
can do, but better.
with a
What if the
far
camp?
inferior team. So 9-8, he gets a playoff win, so that makes him better. No, he
Mm-hmm.
won a playoff game with a 9-8 team.
Yep.
Against the
And he could
defending,
do more than one read.
we have to add that he won against the defending NFC champions that playoff game.
See, that's where, yeah, wins and losses are a QB stat, but your team is what its record says it is. And
Mm-hmm.
the guy won a playoff game with a 9-8 team, a 9-8 caliber team. And yes, that includes him as part of the team as why they're 9-8. I get that. But when they came down to crunch time, he won with a 9-8 caliber team in the playoffs. We got embarrassed with an 11-6 team.
Yeah, it's like the Saints and Seahawks all over again a few years ago.
Yeah, when they won with a 9-8 team, they won their first
Yep.
playoff game. Yeah,
9-17.
Matter
Yep.
of fact, I think we're the only team in the playoffs this year that got embarrassed.
pretty much for the most part.
The
Were
only
we?
one.
No, the Eagles got the
For the
Eagles
first
only
round.
had scored 9 points.
Eagles,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
you could
Eagles
argue
did.
the Eagles.
I'm about
The
to
Eagles did. They
say,
did.
like,
But
But that was against
I don't have
Baker
a bias
Mayfield.
for the Eagles, so I already knew they were going to collapse. It wasn't a surprise to me.
well,
Well, see,
it's
the
not
thing is,
just the
the
Eagles.
Eagles were the defending NFC champions, and the Bucks did that to them with Baker Mayfield.
Oh, that's right. It was Baker Mayfield that did that to them. Good call, Crypto.
Yep, that was Baker. So he threw 3 touchdowns in that game. So Evidently, he did something with his arm.
He also put up a 50 burger against a really good team last year with the Rams, who nobody would argue was any kind of team last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He filled in for Stafford, right? Was he coming in for
Hmm.
Stafford?
Yeah, with no Cooper Cup, no OBJ,
Nobody.
none of
That
that.
that
And no
that
Puka
team was
Nakua.
dismantled, dude.
No,
They
yeah, no
had
Puka.
nobody.
That rookie receiver wasn't drafted yet.
I
So
think Aaron Donald was even on the bench.
No, Puka Nakua was this year.
yeah,
That's
Puka
crazy.
Nakua was this. Yeah.
Legit
So what he
nobody.
did with that Rams team with 56 points. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Joe and Cliff said Cowboys got embarrassed. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, by the Packers.
Yeah, the Packers did do that. That was the Packers. Yeah, the Packers did go in there on the
Yeah,
road. That was a road game, mind you, too.
true.
Yeah,
Packers, yeah.
that's a good one though.
Man,
That's a really good game.
whoever the Texans beat,
yeah, and the Texans did. They beat the Browns.
Uh,
The
the Browns.
Browns.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a rookie quarterback winning a playoff game. His rookie year. Stroud.
That and
that was a
Uh-huh.
rookie
won his
QB that went in
division
there and did that.
and got
Yeah.
his team to the. I just. But you know what? At least one thing that we can feel good about ourselves, guys. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't the. At least we ain't the Panthers. Cause can you imagine giving all that up? All that up.
But we did, Miss Fins. We had to give up
No,
the
but
first
not to the
round pick for
extent.
Tyreek. We gave
Not
up
to
a
the
first round
extent
pick for
of.
Chubb.
Not to the extent I'm talking for your QB. Not to the extent that they did. They had the guy right there.
Yeah,
They
I mean
had
they
the
could
guy
have just
right
simply
there.
sat pat and picked
All they had to do was just
Stroud.
say, "Okay, we're gonna take CJ versus." That's it. That's all they had to do.
Right.
So,
They misjudged that one. You know, who knows? What's
big
his name
time.
may get out of a funk and then they might have their guy. I'm not saying they do,
That
but
guy's
who
young,
knows?
small.
It's going to take a lot to be built around them, like the Alabama quarterbacks when they get to the NFL. You give them a
That's
set
the
of weapons around
problem.
them, and they might do it. That's what you got to
This
do
is
with the
why
Alabama
I
quarterback.
say, and I
You got
can't
to put a lot
stand
around them.
Alabama quarterbacks. They suck, in my opinion. They have too many first rounders in their teams that make them look good. And then when you need substance, when you need them to actually carry the team, because you're dealing with not so good
yeah, they've
players.
literally never had to carry a team before.
Never, not once.
They've
Then
never
people
faced
wonder why
adversity.
they're not able to go ahead and do it.
Oh,
Guys, because they literally
and if
had
you think
nothing but first
adversity,
rounders.
and if you think not winning by 50 is adversity, it's not. Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty much what they was winning by, especially with Nick Saban.
Was it
Yeah,
one?
but I don't put
Those
value in that
receivers.
personally. Like, great,
I
you're winning,
mean,
but who are you beating? Who are you beating? Eastern Carolina, Middle Tennessee University? Like, get the hell out of here. Are you doing that to Michigan? Are you doing that to Michigan State? Are you doing that to Georgia? Are you like, who are
Downtown
you really
Georgetown.
doing that to? Are
they're
you
not
doing
doing
that
it
to
to
Florida?
Georgia.
You doing it to Florida? Come on, no, you ain't.
Don't forget, Miss Fins,
That's why
Tua came in and threw a laser strike to Devontae Smith on one play in the championship game.
that was the end of the oh god, it's just a real pandemic right there.
Yeah, with 15 yards of separation
Yeah.
down the
You
sideline.
With
can't forget that.
65 yards, like the man couldn't have been more. I'm to talk about what is it called? Parting the Red Sea, man. Like that's why I'm like I can't take serious.
Well, that's
I
Oh my
can't take
God,
Alabama
it's
Open.
Moses on.
serious, yo,
Oh my
bro,
God, it's
because
Moses.
We got what you
I
call
can't.
Alabama Open, and then there's what you call
Alabama
Devontae
open.
Parker Open.
It's
Tua
He
crazy.
said
actually
I just
experienced the
Alabama
can't.
extremes
open.
of both. He had what you call Devontae Parker Open, no separation, or
Yeah.
Alabama Open, where you have miles of separation.
Jeez.
You know, which one do you
Uh,
productivity do you want or can rely on? You know,
and the saddest thing is, we went out and got Tyreek for him, and He
Well,
still can't win a playoff game.
we're starting to hear that Tariq doesn't is not the reason why the production is not there, not necessarily him increasing himself, but we trying to
Stop! You're
totally
being
say
blasphemous, bro. What's up,
Tariq had nothing,
Catholites?
zero uh thing to do with Tua's output and production. In other
Hey,
words, substitute Tyreek for Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker is definitely getting 1,700 yards in two back-to-back seasons, no doubt. And Preston Williams and you know those guys are definitely getting. Jakeem Gretton's definitely getting 1,700. There's no doubt in my mind.
now you know things are back to normal when crypto's talking about Sammy Parker.
Yeah, that's what I gotta believe, Cap. That DVP definitely would have gave us 1,700 yards, no doubt in my mind.
Hey, did you hear all the crazy talk today about Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Waddle on the Spaces
What
today? It was
happened
crazy.
now? I
Oh, I
wasn't.
mean, no, I
I
mean,
was busy
look,
today.
look. Look, me and K Mac always
I
bump heads, man. But
literally haven't heard anything Dolphins all day.
yeah, no, I mean, we were
Ayuk
talking.
also go
K Mac
play.
is
Don't
Ayuk
bring that.
was
Don't bring
from
that
Las
man's name
Vegas.
up over here. He don't come over here and say nothing to anybody on YouTube. I don't even want to hear
Who?
that name on this platform, bro. I
What?
stayed
my
What
away
bad.
name?
from Twitter today. I stay away from Twitter now because I don't want to hear that person's name.
Oh,
I
my
don't even
bad, my
know
bad.
what the heck
No,
is
I was just
that,
gonna bring up Brandon
or
Ayuk,
who you
but
talking about.
whatever. That's fine.
No, bring up Brandon Ayuk. Just don't bring up who you were talking to in the spaces because I really don't want to hear that person's name. Not
Fair enough.
especially
Fair
not
enough.
on YouTube, a place where the
Fair,
guy has never come to give his nonsense gaslighting takes.
fair enough. Fair enough. But what do you think about that, Color? I mean, would you like on a
I don't know
comparison
anything
level?
about Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Waddle. I don't know anything about it. Enlighten us.
Well, no, I mean they were just doing the breakdown comparison and just like both are coming up for contracts, and I mean, would you like take a friendly deal at 14 for Ayuk or overpay for Waddle? I mean, it was just
I would
a
have
debate
traded
that was
Waddle.
going on.
I would have traded Waddle last offseason.
Yeah, I mean,
Waddle
it
is
was
a
nothing crazy.
guaranteed first that you're gonna get.
I'm just saying. I mean, we're just throwing stuff out there, and they just brought it up. We started
Oh, I
talking and
know
whatnot.
Brandon
No, I
Ayuk
know
from
they're all
Las Vegas,
perfectly
and he was
fine
talking
with
about
bringing up Waddle now. I know.
Yeah, no,
I
Brandon
I
cannot
mean,
Ayuk
bother
was.
to
you're
give
right.
them the time of day. The time of
Color,
day
Color,
to
you're
what
right.
did
talk
I?
about
What did
trading
I?
Waddle. The time of day to talk about trading Waddle with me was last offseason when they were all making
No,
fun
yeah,
of
they
me
were
and
wrong for
calling
that.
me an
They were wrong
idiot.
for that. They were wrong for that, bro. I agree.
What did I miss,
You're right.
Color? What happened on Twitter today? Somebody said
No,
something
I
on
mean
Twitter
he brought
today.
up a point like a month ago, and now
I have
everybody's
no
accepting
idea.
it now. But he was getting ridiculed for it like a month ago, but now everybody's accepting what Color brought up, like a hypothetical, like we always do.
Yeah. Because Neil said it.
Who?
Now
Yeah,
it's gospel.
yeah, right. It's just funny
I
how
don't know
things
what the
Yeah,
are,
heck
man.
y'all talking
yeah.
about.
You
See,
said
I
that a
stay
long
out of
time ago.
those streets, man. I don't know
Yeah,
what
out of
y'all talking
Switzerland.
about.
Crypto.
Out of Switzerland, guys.
A
Out of
couple nights
Switzerland.
ago, when somebody made the point, a Color said that a month or ago. He
That
didn't
was
say
me.
it recently. Bullcrap! I said it that morning.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, no. I was bringing it to everybody's attention that you mentioned. That's why I said shout out to you
Right,
because
and
you
the
brought it up.
person answered, "Oh well," he said that was a month ago. No, I said it that very morning, and it got ridiculed for it.
yeah, yeah. No,
Oh,
you're right.
okay.
You're right. You're right.
Hmm.
You're right.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah, what's your
mentioned
thoughts
that.
on it
Yeah.
Literally
though?
an hour. This was an hour before Neil came in and said the same thing, and they all were glad handing him over it.
I must have missed
Literally
that
an
one, Color.
hour after they all argued with me
When was that? Today or yesterday?
2 days ago.
Oh, I missed that one. My bad. I didn't know,
Argued
man.
with me,
I don't.
and not one person in the space said, "Wait, wasn't that what we were just arguing with Color about an hour ago?" Straight
Oh man.
ridiculing me over it. Another guy comes in an hour later talking about, "Oh, well, the real this kind of don't kill me over it, but we need." And now everybody's, "Oh yeah, what a great idea."
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny how it
Well,
works out. It's stupid island.
Now that Waddle is
That's
disgruntled,
crazy.
that's the trigger for everybody to want to possibly trade him for some reason. Wonder how that
That's the
works.
flavor.
Guess
It's the
what?
flavor of the
I'm
month,
going to go
Crypto.
the
You know
other
how
way.
it is, man.
I'm going to do the same thing as them right now and be like, y'all are crazy if you think that after our owner has been caught doing the waddle in the booth several times, if you think we're going to trade Waddle, you're off your rocker.
Right, you can turn the favor, right? Yeah. Use Stephen
And
Ross
you don't know football
as
if you
the
think we're
name.
trading Waddle. You don't know football.
Yeah, you got to add that in there. Give him a Pete like take. You don't know football.
Sorry to hijack
Oh.
the show with that nonsense, Miss Phins. I just had to get that off my chest. It's been boiling with me for a couple
Well,
of
Miss
you're
days.
my
Phins, Miss
co-host, right?
Phins.
So
Oh,
Miss Phins, how
clearly,
you been?
Listen to me carefully. Never forget.
what's up, gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up?
And I'm gonna
What's
I'm
on your
gonna
It's
do
still
mind?
a
the
lot
rare
still
thing.
kicking, man.
I'm gonna do the
Still a lot
rare
still
thing,
kicking.
and I'm gonna answer AB's question. What would have been the benefit of
Okay,
trading
but
Waddle
before
last
you
season?
do,
3 first-round picks. That would have been the
go ahead.
benefit
Go ahead.
before
Man,
everybody
when's Ab Ab
realized he
coming on the
can't catch
show,
the
man?
ball.
Dang.
Why can't we talk to Ab Ab? He never wants to talk to us.
Well,
Because you could have got 3 first-round picks last year before everybody in the league realized he's a fraud.
Yeah,
Right. You'd have
it's
I
maximized
don't
his
think he's a
value last year
fraud,
with his production
yeah.
versus
But
this
guys,
year.
how many players
You
can we?
definitely could have got more
You
last
had
year than
Christian.
this
We could
year.
have done that. Gotten 2 firsts. We come on, man.
Panay
Y'all already
Sewell.
you could
Could
know.
have
trade
fixed
Hank.
You
our
guys
entire.
already
Where's
We could have
know.
Panay?
Took
fixed
Panay
our
Sewell.
Will.
entire offensive line with a Hall of Fame caliber offensive line. That's what we could have done last
Panay
year
Yep.
Sewell.
by trading
Facts.
Waddle. But we're all good with our O line, right? We're all good with
Yeah.
it. Just
Greer
get
said, yeah.
Waddle the ball.
You're the one. Greer said you're
O-line
the
will
one
be
that
all
worries,
right. Just
not
get
him.
Waddle the ball.
Greer said stop worrying.
Listen,
Look at the way you're
you guys
defending
are the
Waddle,
ones worried.
AB. You don't think that somebody would have given 3 first rounds the way you're defending him?
Oh, I gotta hear what Ab's saying. What he's saying?
He said, who would have given us 3 firsts? It was, first of all, it was hyperbolic, maybe not 3 firsts. But second of all, look at the way you're defending Waddle. He's obviously good enough for 3 firsts. If you think he's worthy enough to defend that deeply,
I don't know about 3 firsts, but I
You could
think
Yeah,
have
that's
It would have
I
been at
feel
least a
very
first, a
confident
second, and
saying
a
it.
third.
2 firsts then, okay?
I would have
2
said,
firsts
yeah,
and a
Yeah.
fourth.
2
They got
firsts
2.
for me.
Yeah,
2
you could
firsts or
get
I don't
at
even know
least
about.
a
I don't
first,
even
2
know if you get.
seconds.
It would have been the
I don't even know
equivalent
if you
of
get
3
that.
firsts.
No,
2
he would have
firsts and
gotten
a
No,
what
fourth.
Tyreek
Yeah.
got plus.
he would have
Whatever.
gotten it. He would have gotten it. He would have
We got a
gotten.
player and a
He
pick.
would have.
Let's say a first, a second, and a fifth. What they gave Tyreek plus? What
2
we
picks
gave
and a
to Tyreek.
player.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm at right now. Like that's what I would personally think that if, if not if not definitely
Okay,
not
if
2
not 3
firsts, but
firsts, we still would have got more last year than we will now. That was the
Yep.
point I was trying to make. I wasn't trying to get into the weeds on exact numbers. That's how AB does me. He's straw manning me. I wasn't trying to make a point about 3 firsts. I was simply trying to be hyperbolic to put the point out there that we would have got a lot more than we can now.
Yep.
Ab's sneaky, bro. You gotta be
Exactly.
careful with him, bro.
well, the same
Right.
thing with X. If we would have gotten rid of X 2 years
Yep.
ago,
That's what I said.
we would have had a first at least for him.
Yep.
If we would have gotten Christian Wilkins instead of
But when your
actually having
owner
him
is
play on
doing the
his 5th
man's
year,
touchdown dance in the
mother,
booth, what are you supposed to do as Chris Greer?
It's marketing, man. Marketing over memories. You know what I mean?
I can't. God,
Marketing over memories, stats over Super
Well,
Bowls.
this team doesn't lack marketing. They're professional gaslighters, so marketing is that down pack already.
Nah, man. The reason we can't change our logo and our uniform back to the old one is because they got so much invested on new material and new clothes that are coming out that've been already
yeah,
booked for
and
like
all that
years.
new merch, man, ain't no way. They're
Yeah,
not gonna do it.
they're
They
in a,
already
they're in
know
a
it.
storage container somewhere, getting ready to get distributed.
Because then they
Retail,
have to do
wholesale.
exactly what they tell all the players to do. Oh, you're gonna have to buy your own stuff. So what the hell is they gonna do? You know what I mean? So, but no, me personally, and that's the thing. Now, okay, fine. We didn't trade Waddle. We're probably not gonna trade Waddle. He's gonna command a big contract. The problem is,
Okay,
how much
that's
money
another
can you
contract,
afford to
right?
pay him?
That's what I'm
How
saying. That's
much money
another
can
contract,
you
right?
afford? It
Is
is
it his
absolutely
contract year now or next year?
this year. He's a
This
first
year
round
too.
pick. You gotta
Well, the
decide
guy
who's
they
buying. Literally,
compare him to just got $30 million.
So Jalen Phillips too is
Yeah,
coming up,
yeah.
bro. That's the
Oh
bad
you're
downside
right.
Yes,
of
they're
That's
getting.
the
both
That's the
first
person
round
that
bad
they
picks.
downside
compared him
of
to.
getting all those first round
Look what
picks.
the
Yeah,
Jags look what the Jags paid Christian Kirk. You think Waddle's any better than Christian Kirk?
That's a great point, Color. That's a great freaking point. He's the one that screwed up the market. You're absolutely right. 13 million off the rip, I think.
there you go.
But did he really though?
And that year, yeah, he kind of did.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I
I mean,
don't
for
think
him,
so
no.
because look at the production that we were doing.
He's the
He ended up
reason,
actually being a,
Miss Fins. If he doesn't get that money, then we're paying Tyreek 20, not 30.
Well, you know what? Let me take it
that
back. You're
I'll
right
give
because
you
his production is past freaking Calvin Ridley and freaking Ingram almost. Ingram is coming up there, but you're right. He is their number one.
Oh, and I think
that.
AB's
He's their
right
number
on this
one.
anyway.
Yeah.
Waddle's not due this year. That's why we would get a haul for him because you'd be trading control
So he's not
rookie
due
He's
this year.
due
control for
I
one
next
thought he
year.
more
I
was.
year.
just said it.
Right, but I'm
It's his
saying that
fifth,
that makes the
his
contract even
fifth
more valuable.
year. We,
But that makes
Gotcha.
that makes the
Gotcha.
trade
Fifth year. You're right. You're
contract
right.
even more valuable because we'd be trading them control of a rookie for one more year.
So we're
That's
doing a whole bunch of
valuable.
can y'all
5th-year
hear me
options
or
right now.
no?
That's at least worth a third round pick right there.
So
Can
we're
y'all
doing
hear me
fifth
or
round
no?
options.
I just want to make sure you.
Now we do, yeah.
Yeah.
Mic check. 1,
Yeah,
2,
no,
1, 2.
that's what I
Yeah, we
was.
can hear.
Thank you. That's what I was saying, gentlemen. That I was
Yeah.
saying, like, it's not his full contract right now. It's his 5th year option. That's what we got to deal with right now when it comes to him. So, are they gonna pick it up or are they gonna actually, what do you call
Uh,
it?
I'm
Pay the
guessing
man
that I'm guessing what's his 5th-year option worth?
from
The
when I
Jalen Phillips get
checked.
one?
Yep, he does. Phillips is due
That
for
man.
one, and so is Waddle. Both of them are up for a 5th year option.
So that's the downside of getting all those first round picks is having to pay all of them at the same time.
And that's the problem, which is why a lot of teams
Yep.
prefer to to
Get
down in the
second.
draft
Yep. And get
and
him in a
get a
second.
guy in a second because you're not pressured into that. Now, granted, you don't have that
That's
extra
that's what
year
we
that
did
you
with
have to
Makes
maneuver.
me
we
think
did that
they
with AJ
actually
and Tua, right? That's what
but
happened this year.
that's the stuff right there, Miss Fins, that makes
3
me
first
think
rounders.
he actually believes in Tua. That kills me. It just kills me. Completely deflates me. Because I don't know how a guy gets to be a GM in the NFL who would believe in the quarterback we have.
Oh, Color. I just confirmed it this morning from Joe Rose. You were right, man. The reason that they drafted Cam Smith is because he's friends with Chris Greer's son.
Yeah.
That's
Because of
crazy.
friendship?
No, don't tell me
Wait
that.
That's
a
what Joe
minute.
Stop.
Rose said this
Stop.
morning. He said he goes to school with Chris Greer's
No,
kid.
get the
He
heck
said it
out
this
That's a
morning.
fireable offense.
Chris
No, it's not. He
Greer
said it
just
this
needs
morning.
to go.
That's a
Don't tell
fireable
me
offense.
that, bro.
You can't be
You want me to
Mr.
hiring
find
Believe
the
based
it or
clip?
on
you're being for
nepotism.
real.
You want me to get the clip?
I don't.
Why
I'm
not,
not. I don't. It's
Crypto?
not that I don't.
The man's
I
father's on
believe
our
you.
payroll too. What
I
do you
couldn't
mean
put
you
it
can't
up, and
hire
then they'll
because of
block me. But
nepotism?
That's what I'm saying. Are you gonna get in trouble if I
But
bring it up?
that's
It's
the
from Flash
problem,
60.
Color. You can't do
yeah,
that.
it
That's
does strike me, man. They
unsustainable.
love to do that.
When has nepotism worked?
But hey,
Never.
Ms. Finch, look at today's episode
Well,
of
it
Joe
depends on
Rogan's
what you
show.
mean by work.
If you look at the
If you
podcast,
mean
he
work to
says it.
destroy an empire, then yeah, it works just great.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
reminds me
Yeah,
of the
that
show
does.
he's
Secession
got to
I
go.
just
That
finished
puts the lid
watching
right
it
on
like
the drawer.
2 weeks ago.
Quick Girl's got to go now. Now that I know that, yeah, he's got to go.
I don't see what's
Greer
wrong with me
has needed
saying
to
that. I
go
mean,
300 years
if Joe Rogan is saying it, I don't think it's wrong. I mean, we all knew that too. I mean, a lot of people knew that.
I didn't know that.
Well, Joe
No, I
We
Rose
just
had
is
no idea.
we just
Joe
didn't say it.
Rose is inside enough that you could say where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, like
Yeah.
he's not just gonna speculate something like that without having some kind of fleeting knowledge of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he might have a little bit of inside
Yeah, he said it
information.
nonchalantly, like
He's
if it
an
wasn't a big
inside
deal, I
trader,
don't think it
man.
would be
He
a
would
big
just,
deal.
in
Yeah,
other
he's
words,
gonna
he
know
would just
something.
not say something like that
I
because
don't
of
think it'd be
journalistic
tampering.
integrity. You know what I mean?
Joe
We need
Rose
to
is
go
an
get a player
insider.
GM like John Lynch.
Listen to me, journalistic integrity, like there's such thing anymore.
That's Joe Rose, man. He's got the inside scoop.
Well, I'd like to
Yeah,
believe because Joe Rose is a little older and a little more old school. He probably
Yeah,
still has some journalistic integrity.
right.
no, he
Yeah,
said it
he's
today.
holding
He
on
said
to
he was
what's
talking to
left of it.
Camper. He said him and Camper were talking. He says,
Well,
"Look,
that's
man,
what
we're
I'm
getting
saying.
old.
That's what I'm saying, Cap. It's a
I'm
little
getting
different.
tired of all this." You know, he was pretty much saying it.
That's where I'm
He's fed up.
agreeing. That's where I'm agreeing with you, Cap. That a guy like Joe Rose saying it is a little different than a guy like
Yeah,
some your average YouTuber saying it. You know,
yeah.
Wow, Color. Why would you say that about crypto, man? Gosh, I can't
What?
believe. Nah,
Yeah,
just
but look,
kidding.
he was pretty much saying that the reason
Just
What?
that
kidding.
Wait a minute. What did I
hey,
miss?
I totally messing with you, Chris. No, because he said, the
and
journalistic integrity,
unlike Omar,
Oh,
unlike
uh, right,
a
and unlike Omar,
average
Joe
the
Rose has
YouTuber.
YouTube.
not shown any evidence of bias.
so yeah, he was pretty
Well,
much
I get
saying
it,
that
Miss
pick was Chris Greer's pick.
Nah, man. I mean, if you're really thinking about it, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. What's up, Fred?
Yeah, Chris Greer.
Yeah,
Fred's in there now.
ABAB. They do have their fifth year upstream coming up. He just finished his third year.
Hey, Fred, your
They
your
have to
your
decide by
Bills gonna
this
be
year
fine this year,
if
Fred.
they're
Looks
gonna
like
pick
your
it up.
Bills are gonna be fine, Fred.
So we got to decide on a lot of things in the next couple of months, next couple of weeks.
Yeah, in the next few weeks. Yeah, I mean, but then again, you know, are we gonna have the are we gonna be smart enough to actually do it? Because my problem is, personally, I think Greer's gonna screw this up again, and somehow, some
You know what I
way,
think is going to
us.
happen.
What's
I
that?
think Weaver's going to bring his staff just like everybody else brings their staff, just like Flo brought his staff from New England. McDaniel did from San Fran. He pretty much said at the press conference he's going to switch it up. So you know he's going to bring personnel that he knows that's going to come here probably try to prove something. You know what I mean? Like they always.
I mean, I don't
It's
mind.
pretty much scripted at this point.
It's his show. At
So
least
we'll
one
get
thing I know
discount
for
players
sure.
that'll come from Baltimore. They'll fill in the gaps, and then they'll go after second tier players in the second wave of free agency. You know how we do it. There's
Yeah,
always three waves.
exactly. One thing I do know for sure
We're
that he's
gonna,
got this year. He's
yeah.
gonna have all he needs this 1 year.
We shopping in
But
the
then after
garbage
that,
can.
you can forget it.
No, we're gonna find out this year if people are gonna come on the cheap once and for all.
We're
What do you
not that
mean? They
far
come here
off.
for
That's what makes
vacation. What do you mean? They don't
You
come
know
here
what
on
I
the
mean?
cheap.
Like
They come here to
you know what I mean?
vacation
Like
and get paid.
if a team is ready to make a run and players know it, those agents will get with those players and say, "Hey, look, catch up with these guys. They're making a run. They're gonna give you the bank." And if those players do decide to come here, we'll know off the rip that Ross is committing the pay and willing to do what it takes, like he always does. But if they don't show and they know they're gonna get paid, then you know it's not about money at that point.
Well, when has we gotten somebody to come here on the ultra cheap that wasn't
That's it.
drafted here?
I know that's gonna be the problem. We've been overpaying everybody all the damn time.
But that's the Miami. Why do people not believe me when I say the Miami Dolphins are the retirement team of the league? You come here to get a bag and then you retire.
No, they use it
Like,
for leverage all the
I don't.
time.
This is
It's
this
it's
is
it's a fact. Everybody uses this for
this
leverage.
should not be any news to anybody.
And if they don't
It's
come here,
so
I mean, if they do
frustrating
come
when
here, they'll go somewhere else and get overpaid.
it always happens. It's like, why do we have to be the ones? Oh,
All right, look, I'm gonna bring this
fine.
up. Look, it's been aggravating me, man, and I hope you guys don't
Go ahead.
like. Look, it's just been agitating me. Every time I bring it up, they put me in the gulag or they exile me. All right, so listen, just give me 20 seconds of your time.
You won't be gulagged, I promise.
Okay,
The
Go ahead, sir.
look,
gulag.
I don't
I got
understand how is it a
license.
team in our division gets to change their uniforms, regardless of the years that it comes to do it, if it's their year or not, and if it's not our year, whatever. How the hell is it that the whole fan base is upset about what happened this season? And the only thing we're asking for is for our jerseys that represent our old memories to come back for one season. I don't understand why it's so hard to go through red tape just to do that. It just seems like this
Can
team's
I
force
be
feeding us
frank
stuff that
with
we
you?
don't want at this point.
Can I be frank with you? It's not
You
just
got
about
to
the
stand
money
in line.
investment. because do you know the sheer embarrassment? How can you live up to a perfect season? You can't. You cannot live up to a perfect season.
Oh man,
No
I just
team
feel like if you
can.
want attitude and you want to be aggressive, you bring back the logo that made this team
I get
aggressive.
it, dude. I get it,
Um,
but you cannot. It's no team can withstand a perfect season. It's just it doesn't happen, and because of that, that automatically means that we're gonna be stuck with this new logo. That's why he changed it. He's like, I want to make my own era, and I want to be able what do you call it? To have my own logo essentially. That logo is there for a reason. It's legendary. You don't touch it, and he knows that he
Mm.
can't. What do you call
Well,
it?
if you put
He
it
knows
that
he
way,
can't.
yeah, I kind of agree with you.
Well, like what more can you do that's more than perfect? You see
No,
what I
I
mean?
get that, but I just if we're bringing them back once or twice a season, why not just do it one season? I mean, if the Jets are doing it, why can't we do it?
Because
yeah,
first
you
of all,
can
it's
make
the
it an
Jets.
alternate
Like,
jersey.
Or just add, like they're adding stuff to their old logo to like enhance it. Why can't we just add more to I just know something to, the fans can have fun with at this time of year because we don't really have anything to look forward to, but, you know, going to functions
well,
and helping, causes and making donations.
it's
And
the
that's great.
ego.
But I mean, when are the fans going to have something?
Mm,
It's the ego, man. I'm gonna win
yeah.
with my team.
All right. Mm,
That's the thing. And what are you gonna do with that? I mean, he's the billionaire.
Yeah.
He
And
has to
look,
go and let.
my avatar is the new logo, but that's because, I walked in that locker room and that was the first thing I saw. And it was like, damn, this is nostalgic. So I don't knock them. I'm not saying get rid of them, but if you see the Miami Heat changing their uniforms every 6 months and they still keep it real and they keep authentic,
Yeah, but that's a different
we're not
league,
asking you
bro.
to get
That
rid
you
of
can't
it. We're
even
just asking
compare.
you to switch it up.
Yeah, well, the league does have rules. So the Heat or
And
the NBA period is
those
completely
rules seem more like
different.
politics.
No, no, they legitimately have rules. So you have to also understand the Heat plays 82 games. You only have 17 games in the season. Well, before 16 for like
So they
forever.
got to get the Heat culture. They got four different sets of black and white and red. Then they got the ones that just came out now with that are like Miami Vice, and then
The Miami Vice, those are the pink and blue ones. Those are my favorite.
that's what I'm
Me
saying. Like, why
personally, I
can't
think
we
those.
have that? You've seen mock drawings of us having it. I mean, that it would look dope.
It would look dope. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
That's
it
when
would
you
look
know we're
pretty
hurting. When
awesome.
we're
Well,
talking about,
the those kinds of things, Cap, will never happen because that has to do with the uniform rules of the NFL. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, but I do agree with what you're saying. Like it seems like it just doesn't matter what the fans call for. We're going to get the exact opposite of what we want.
yeah, man.
I mean, we at least got to pick our own logo. I remember that process.
Yeah, the logos that
mm,
he picked. So it's like picking what he picked.
Well, I mean, no, they had multiple designs. I still remember, and we got to
Yeah,
pick, and
and
then
he
they
picked
went down
his.
the string.
It was like everybody else got a participation trophy, and he picked his. It is what it
Yeah,
is, though,
well,
man. All I know is I've seen a lot of mock, like different ones online, and a lot of them should, at least if you're not gonna accept it, at least
let's see.
acknowledge it.
I'm still waiting for my navy blue jersey. Okay, that
Yeah, that's what I'm
navy
saying.
blue
mm.
with
You
the
show your navy
aqua
blue.
lettering
Somebody else
and
show
orange,
theirs.
bro. That's
If you bombard them with different type of schemes and color fit, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to say, hey, one of these are pretty good.
yeah. But look, teams are already complaining it's too hot in Florida. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do now with their players complaining it's too hot
You can play in
because
those
we have
Tyreek
tropical
short
season?
shorts with shoulder pads. That's the way it's
Mm.
going right now with flags hanging out from the side.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I guess.
If it turns to the Pro Bowl,
Mhm.
so God help me.
Oh, we're already there. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh,
We're already there.
Oh, crazy.
Why do you think flag football is going to be an Olympic team, Olympic game in the Olympics in 2 years? Not 2 years in the next Olympics.
Yeah, they should have
There's a
been had
reason
it.
why.
I'm all about the Olympics.
Oh, me too. That's my favorite.
that's a
But
good point. I
I don't
think they're
know
trying to figure it out. That way, when the Europeans join the league, they'll narrow it down to different type of more rules. They'll just pretty much wussify the whole NFL, and then that's when they're going to start making more money. They're going to embrace it, and I don't know, man. It just
yeah,
seems like a lot of change is coming so fast.
because they want to expand it to make it a world sport, but this will always be an American sport no matter what. No matter what they do, no matter
Mhm.
what they say, whatever rules they come up with, this will always be a US sport.
Right.
But we'll see. At the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, what we got to worry about is okay, are we eating hot dogs? What are we bringing for the tailgates?
Hmm.
What's gonna be the new the new songs we're gonna be doing and
Yeah,
playing
that
and
means you're
enjoying?
programmed. If you're just going through the motions, that just means we're
Right.
programmed. It's sad.
But that's the life, buddy. Taste the life of a Dolphin fan. But we're not the only one. People think that it's just us, but it's not. It really isn't just us. The Dolphins aren't the only ones, or the Dolphins fan base. Multiple
Right.
fan bases go through this. We just happen to be one of them. That's all. It's. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it is what it is. But I got a question for you guys, real quick. I need y'all expertise. Um, who's more of a priority, Wilkins or Hunt?
Hunt.
Uh,
Good, because that's exactly how I felt. Okay,
like I'm telling you, man, if
if
Weaver
Hunt.
brings his staff over here, you might see guys like Clowney come over here on the cheap. You never know.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. Wide receivers. Who are you keeping? Who are you bringing back? Anybody you bringing back that's wide receiver?
I heard
You
this
got
free agent
Barrios,
class, man,
Chose,
is
Waddle
not
and
too
Claypool,
bad.
Gronk.
Christian
Hashtag
McCaffrey.
run it back, baby.
I don't think this team need any upgrades. I think we're foolproof.
Hey,
We
was
need
that
to run it
CT?
back at full speed. I've been told, just like we was the greatest on paper since the history of the world, then only if we're healthy. So why not run it back with everybody since we're already the greatest on paper since the history of the world? So why not just run it back with that crew since we don't need any upgrades and no improvements? That's the only reason why we lost. That's what we're being
Because
told.
When
So
Greer went to
why
Tennessee,
upgrade? Why do
because
anything in the offseason? Matter of
When
fact,
Greer
just
went to
sacrifice
Tennessee,
all your draft
he
picks.
talked to the
Just
linebacker.
give them
He
away.
talked to the linebacker to come to Miami, and he told Derrick Henry, "Just wait, and I'll talk to you at the end of the season."
We don't need no depth. We don't need nothing. We just freaking run it back. We'll just run it back. I don't think we
That's
need
going to
any
be the
improvements
shiny
this
toy
thing.
pick, though. Derrick Henry.
Why do we need Derrick Henry? Sell me Derrick Henry, please.
I mean, I'm look for me. I don't need to sell anything. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You saw it last season and this season.
We don't have anybody that can pick
Overthinking
that
throwing the
up.
ball on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1.
We don't have
No, you get
anybody
this
that
I
guy.
can
don't
pick
think
that
You
it,
don't
up.
worry about that.
I don't think Derrick Henry convinces Mike McDaniel one way or another to run the ball or pass it. It doesn't have no effect on Mike McDaniel's psyche.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to do exactly what the West Coast offense requires. He's running it off a script.
So do you keep Alec Ingold?
Yeah, because a fullback is needed in the West Coast offense at some point. He'll keep him.
I'm
He
just
want
trying to understand why everybody wants to get, like, why we have to make any changes. Have the 49ers gotten rid of Kyle Juszczyk in the last 4 years?
No, I agree. We need a
No,
fullback. We're the only guys that utilizes them, and the fullback always gives you the blocking game that we need. With
this
that
guy Alec Ingold is supposed to be one of those guys. So, like,
yep, he's supposed
we're
to be.
dancing around the issue. We constantly are dancing around the issue. We're doing the same thing we've done every offseason. Let's talk about what problems on our team will make us win more. We did all that. Like, there is nobody else.
So there's
We
no
have
way
our
to improve this
team.
team. There's no running back, is what you're saying.
Why? Let me ask you this. Last year, the 49ers didn't get near as deep as they did this year. Were they talking about which guys they're going to get rid of out of their wide receiver room? No. They still got Brandon Ayuk. They still got Deebo Samuel. They still got the third guy who nobody knows what his name is. I mean. The Rams are still rocking Skroenik.
Whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
He's their number 3 behind Beckham and Cooper Kupp.
Right.
So that's a good question, man. Seeing that Jennings almost had a MVP type of performance in the Super Bowl, do you re him up and take your losses with Ayuk, or do you overpay Ayuk if you were the Niners?
Like, my whole thing is, if we didn't think they were good enough, if we thought they were good enough last year, then they should be good enough this year. Nothing is going to make or break a team at the wide receiver position.
Some people would disagree with you, Culler.
Yeah, and that's why we got Tyreek Hill.
I was just gonna say.
So what does it matter who we have behind him? So what does it matter if we have who we have behind him? Put 5 Devontae Parkers behind him for all I care.
I'm just saying,
because our quarterback is not finding them in the field anyway. That's why we all think we have bad wide receivers. Because everybody, once again, wants to take the onus off the quarterback and put it on everybody else. So let's just change out our whole team. Let's go all 52 guys. Because every one of them you can make a case for didn't do enough to help us win this year.
Culler, you haven't heard already. It's easier to change out and get 52 players than 1. I don't understand why you're always fighting this, man. It's easier to get 52 players than 1. Like, come on, man. You already know this. It's
well, 31 other teams have a quarterback that can find their tight end.
Yeah, I hope you know that I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm following it along.
That's what people keep
You
making.
can't get this guy because he throws 2 touchdowns to his tight end.
Yeah, but
you can't get this other guy because he cooks us for 300 yards, but he's only a running back.
I feel you, bro.
What's the notion?
You can't get that other guy because he's only got 2 playoff wins.
Why is everybody pounding the table for a third wide receiver?
Not necessarily a third receiver, but like somebody that's going to catch the ball and not get the ball overthrown, that can catch it
and not get the ball overthrown. How does a receiver get the ball overthrown?
I'm just saying, there was a couple of times Tyreek had to jump in the air, and it was a little bit.
A couple.
Well, there's a lot of times that Tyreek Hill caught the ball when jumping up for the pass too. So is it really the receiver?
Oh man, if I had the film breakdown of the times I've seen Keith situations where like they say he's accurate, but I see Tyreek jumping in the air trying to catch the ball. It's a little bit more than what people think.
This is why I can't stand starting a conversation about this man. Because it
No,
always goes
I'm
down
not saying it's a bad
to
thing to have a third
no,
option
it ain't
because
you.
we
It
were.
ain't you, man. It ain't you.
I know, I
It's
get
just
it. It's going to be like
frustrating.
that for the next 5 months. But I mean, let's think
Bro, we
about it.
have like 9 wide
5 months.
receivers on our team, bro.
We were
We
begging for
have
Yeah.
like
Craycraft.
9 wide receivers.
Craycraft got hurt. Easy E got
And
hurt.
97%
Barrios,
of our possessions goes to three of them.
yeah, but Barrios is 5'8". The ball was getting sometimes not to him because he's just no knock on him. It's just he's not that dude, you know. And we're making him seem like he is that
Explain
dude.
to me how he's not that dude, and also explain to me how anybody should expect a wide receiver 3 or 4 to be that dude. What
I
makes
mean,
another wide receiver 3 or 4 that dude?
I mean, just
Let me ask you this: Is Khalil Shakir that dude, or is it
I
just
mean,
because Josh Allen knows how to throw to him?
no, that's a good point. That's a yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that tend
I
to be
think
the
the level
difference
of
maker.
frustration
The
is
distribution
super
of the
high.
ball is what's
No, but
the
he's
issue,
right.
not
He's
the
right.
necessarily the actual guy receiving the ball.
Yeah, you're right. No argument from me.
Because Tyler Boyd might be highly disappointed if he comes in this offense and realize that he's getting the same passes thrown to him as Darren Smythe.
I'm just, the Bills have that luxury to like have what's his name, Shakir, right? UCF. I think he's from Florida as well.
Yeah,
But then we're
here.
worried about Easy E's neck. It's like, you know,
But we don't have
Craycraft.
players, guys.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah,
develop
yeah.
players. That's the problem. We don't develop players.
Mhm.
We don't
Why
have
is that?
we don't have a
Why is
good
that though, Miss Finn?
coaching. At the end of
No,
the
I
day, it
just think we
always
wear
goes
them
down to
out. I think we wear them out during training camp
Okay.
to give everybody a show, and then they get so worn out.
I mean, that's a good point I didn't even think about. But yeah. Well, this is the other thing too, Cap. If you really think about it, with the players that we have, the ultimate problem with them is that at the end of the day, the Dolphins want their cake and eat it too. You cannot be win now mode and also try to develop. It just doesn't work. And I don't know how
No,
many
that's what
times I
they're
have to
force
like
feeding
pound
us
the
right
table
now.
and say that. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They want
No, I
to
mean,
be
look, you and I
developing,
both
but
know the window is now, right? That's what we've been saying the past 3 years, right?
yep.
All of a sudden now, the goalpost has been moved because of the extension, knowing that you have to give him more time to develop. Which is, once he signs that contract, you have to give him time, obviously. But I just thought this was the year. Now we're moving the goalpost to
Oh,
three to
it's
four.
over. I don't be truthful with me, gentlemen.
Why
Do
do
you
you?
think he's
Why do
not
we
going to
go
get the
out and get?
contract?
Why do we go out and make the moves we make last year if we were all under the understanding that it takes time and all this other stuff, and
That's my
Exactly.
we
point.
got to learn how to win, and it's only Mike McDaniel's second season and all this stuff like it. But when we were saying that was the reason we weren't going to go anywhere, people were calling us negative Nellies and whatever
So
else.
it's like
Hold
it
up,
contradicts
because
itself. Yeah.
I remember
Mhm.
hearing TD say this once. It's Tyreek. Tyreek screwed us. That's the contract where we would have had all the money to get all the bench players, all the backup players we needed.
Right. But Ms.
Right.
Finns, we brought
Yeah.
him in here. We did all that because we thought our quarterback was ready. And that's all he needed. That's what we were told. Now we're being told, you've got to have patience because this stuff takes time to develop.
Yeah.
Again, you
That's why
cannot
you have to put
be
the
win
onus
now
on them to
mode
give
and
you a
develop.
time color. You can't be an infinite time and say when you just leave it, it
Well,
takes
we did that,
time.
Crypto. We've been
Time is
doing that
ever
the
in.
past 3 seasons. We keep getting told this is the year. If
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't do it this year, then I'm off of him. And all those people
Mm-hmm.
get off of him for 5 minutes after he fails, after he chokes again. And 3 weeks later, I'm arguing with the same people again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I think as a
Yeah.
fan base, in every fan base, as fans,
It's
we have
Stockholm syndrome.
very no. It's very short term memory. You know what I mean? We got short term memory. It's like man, he's awful. But those people that unfortunately gotten any like
Oh,
brain
and they're all
trauma
and
or whatever, and they
don't
can't.
and
It's
make
Right.
no
like
mistake,
50
they're all
first
starting.
base.
Yeah, and they're all starting the same nonsense again, Miss Fins, taking away people's right to speak and privilege to speak because they don't like what you're saying about Tua or stuff. It's all the same stuff over
I
again,
don't care
and it's
about
all the
that.
Yeah.
same people that during this season were saying, "Oh no, whoa, we don't roll with them guys. Oh no, that ain't us." And they're the same ones doing it now that they think they're comfortable enough again, and they're going to be throwing people like Cap said, throwing people in the gulag because they don't like. We're not going to have that discussion around here. Oh, I thought we were all open again because everybody was like, yeah, and now it's all. Not only are they going back to the same talking points, but they're also going back to the same tactics of shutting people down and chilling their speech because they talk negatively about the quarterback. Guess what? I'm not doing it this season. I don't want this quarterback. I think he's terrible, and I think he's the demise of our football team. And as a Dolphin fan, I am offended that this guy continues to take snaps under our center.
So if we were to, well, not
Well,
if,
be
when
careful,
we
Color.
sign
You're
him,
gonna be sent to the gulag
Does
for
that
that
make it
statement.
clear enough while still preserving my fandom and my
That's why I
love for the
said it.
team and the
when we
logo?
sign him,
This man is
so,
destroying my football team.
but did you say that about Tannehill?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
a
did.
lot of people did. Yeah, a lot of people did. Tannehill. Yeah.
Sat
Hey, you're
here
gonna
for
be.
6 years. Same arguments. Oh, just get him another. Just get him this. Just get him more. Just get him more. It don't matter what
Listen,
you get him. He's not winning the Super Bowl, and I was
I
proven
am a
right again.
tennineer,
And people want to
and I
turn that
think
around
you're
on me
wrong.
and say, "Oh, I was hoping for Tannehill to fail." Were you on my couch? Nobody was on my couch watching me every Sunday root for Tannehill.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the one thing I don't
I'm
like.
not
When
doing
people
that
say,
again.
"Oh, you've been
I'm not
waiting for
doing it
the
again.
downfall. You're waiting for the demise." I'm like, bro, really? I'm waiting for this. Really? You really gonna think I've been waiting on my couch to
No,
see this? You
every
think I've been
single
waiting?
week
Yes,
I thought, every single week I thought, maybe there is hope. Maybe there is hope. And then, no, Tannehill choked again every single year. That's not what I was asking for just because I knew it was going to happen. And just because I'm saying now that I was right doesn't mean I was wishing for that.
uh, can I say
Yeah,
something real
no,
quick? I think it's
not by
actually
any
kind of
stretch.
funny. I'm a tennineer, and I have no problem in saying that. Um, but when it comes to our fan base, I find it very funny that you know the way people have that bird mentality, like we were just saying, of things are good for about 2 seconds, and then when they're not,
Squirrel.
you know, yeah, squirrel, exactly, squirrel, and the selective
Well,
amnesia is just the problem.
When I explained all that the other
Exactly.
night, what I
It's
just
been
explained,
selective amnesia.
I got told that see proof that you were hoping for our failure back then, as if that's what I said because I was off of Tannehill after the first year. So
No,
Bro,
you're
whenever I
right
hear
I
that
was
out
because I
hoping
loud,
spent
for us
bro.
to
10
lose.
grand.
And you know what? Hold on. And you know what? I at first I'm thinking, you know what? I took offense to them projecting that on me because I wasn't, and none of them were sitting on my couch next to me for those 7 years. Okay, but this time they're right. I do hope Tua fails. I do hope we fail because my fandom is still intact because I care about my team more than people that want to have a mediocre quarterback under center for another 5 years. That's me. I'm the better fan. I expect
No, but
more.
you have to
And if they're not
understand.
going to give it to me,
We
if they're not going to give it to us, then guess what? I do not have to hope for success to be a fan. Matter of fact, it is my duty to hope for failure in this situation. It is my duty as a fan to hope for failure in this situation.
Crypto. We're joining him in the
Yeah.
foxhole.
Well,
I don't know about
that
all
will be
that,
the.
but
Well,
This
how
Color,
guy.
can
would you
you?
say?
And I ain't
Hold on,
Pete. This ain't Pete saying this.
Passion.
Okay,
It's
y'all
on.
can
passion.
call Pete an Atlanta Falcon fan all you want. You're not going to call me that because I'm about 7 days. I'm going to be spending $2,000 for season tickets. So don't sit here and tell me I can't
Yeah.
hope for failure.
It would be no different from tanking for Tua, would it?
I mean,
That's the overarching irony that I didn't even get to, Crypto.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be basically the same thing as tanking
I
for
mean,
Tua versus tanking with Tua.
I'm not gonna
Tank to
lie.
get
I
rid of
was
Tua. That's what
really
I'm saying. Tank to get rid of Tua.
Yeah, that's crazy irony. Yeah, we root the tank for him.
Well,
Hey, what's wrong with tanking to root with them?
my thing is how can you not be a
And
fan
now,
and risk
you know what's
spending 10
ironic?
grand on
Real
this
quick, Miss Vince.
team?
I'm sorry, Miss Vince. I'm sorry. I had to really drive home the irony there to Crypto because that's the whole reason that I'm not a fan of tanking. And I don't agree with it because I refuse to root against my team or my team to lose.
Well, not only that, we're not good at it.
I don't care how much it benefits us, which I don't even agree that it does anyway. But even if it did, I don't care. I'm not going to sit there and root for my team to lose.
Yeah.
But since that's the new paradigm and that's all accepted now, guess what? I am now.
Yeah. What's up, Chef Juice? Sorry, guys, I wasn't looking at the screen.
Chef Jew.
What's up, V21? How you doing, man? Listen, I'm gonna bring up somebody that we all know and love, the truest, biggest Dolphin fan out there. And I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know the biggest Dolphins fan. What's up, Mark? How
It's
you doing,
yours
buddy?
truly, Mark. I knew it was going to be me.
Hey, folks.
Oh yeah.
Color, I totally agree with you. I
Mark, your
100%
headphones are
agree
still
with everything that you're
garbage.
saying because I really
Mark.
think where the Dolphins should go is they
Mark,
should
I
let Tua
can't
play
hear
on
you.
a fifth-year option, sign none of the free agents, get compensatory picks, fill out the roster the best you can. You know you're going to lose Phillips and Chubb for at least half a year, and they're probably never going to be back to playing condition until 2025, and do a quick rebuild. You can have this team back on its feet with a viable situation at quarterback.
Like a Texans.
With players on
Like
your
a
roster
Texans situation.
signing your key young talents to long-term deals and let the older players go.
That
Take
sounds
1
great.
year
Tell that
down
to
in
our
the
GM.
tank. I can't because I can't get to him. I think you should have been fired years
Join the
ago.
club.
Well, I will say
I'm
this.
sick
I
and
find this.
tired of this franchise. Every year, I want the rivalry back between the Bills and the Dolphins. I want the Dolphins to be good. The Dolphins are fun when they're good. They're on national TV.
The
They're
league is
getting
good when the
games.
Dolphins are good.
And
I give you that.
I also want the throwback uniforms. So
I don't know if I can take this guy serious or not. He's telling me what I want to hear, and I don't know.
Well, the reason you can take him seriously, the reason you can take him seriously is because he's speaking in truisms. Our colors and logo and all that are great for television. He's not lying. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, those darker throwbacks with the different dolphin. Oh my God, those are great uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I want to address this.
I think this team can be rebuilt in one season. You take one
Kind of like
season
the Texans.
that you're
did
going to win 6 or 7 games, let it move on, and then come back strong in 2025 and be competitive. This could be done. But if Greer makes the epitome of the stupidest decision in the world and gives to an extension, I don't care if it's for the same money. You're going to be stuck with this clown for another 4 years, and this guy is never going to be there. He's not.
Well, look, I'll tell you
Come on,
this.
Greer.
At least,
Since I was 6 years old. I'm 60.
that reminds me of another point they make is, you can get off of him after 2. It's like, okay, and we've proven that we're going to get off of our quarterback when in the last 30 years?
I mean, again, what about a Kirk Cousin kind of deal?
The track record of moving off a quarterback in the last 2 outings.
2 years, $90 million with a third voidable year. Like, I think that sounds pretty good. What do y'all
Folks, is
think?
there anyone that you would take at 21 and that's coming out of this year's quarterback draft and bypass needs on the
Not
offensive
one
line?
person.
Okay.
Not one person.
I'm kind of with you on that because I don't think Bo Nix or Michael Penix is any better than Tua. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. And
I
Drake
do too.
May, I have no confidence in. The only one I really have any confidence in to develop, and that's if you develop him right, is Jaden Daniels.
Well, Mark, the word on the street was C.J. Stroud was going to be a bust. How did that work out?
No, there was a lot of BS on that because everybody took that stupid test and then said, "Oh, he's going to be this. He's not going to be." The
The
guy had
Wonderlic?
size, he had arm strength, he had accuracy, he had everything that you could have possibly wanted. But the Carolina Panthers chose not only to take Bryce Young with the number one pick, but they traded next year's number one, which is now Chicago's pick, to get Bryce Young. How stupid are they? How stupid are they? So you take a 5 foot
Yeah,
nine
I
inch
said that
quarterback.
earlier. I said that
Congratulations,
earlier,
genius.
literally. I said that earlier. They took. Well,
Start
I
doing
just
your
don't
homework
trust.
in the scout department.
I don't trust Alabama quarterbacks. Period. When you have when your entire O line are number one draft picks, when your entire defense number one draft, your entire team is number ones and twos. I don't trust
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
your
Period. I don't
receivers are
trust
number one picks. Your offensive line's number one picks,
exactly.
and don't
The
forget how
receivers
many
are
number
number
one
one.
picks there
The O
are on
line's number one.
defense.
I just don't understand why people say you can't get two quarterbacks with the scheme when his dad drafted Kirk Cousins and RG3 in the same draft.
Exactly. The same job.
Yeah,
Good point.
and then destroyed RG3.
It's an
And destroyed
outright lie.
RG3.
It's an outright lie. Okay, Cap. These people just spout off these cliches like they're facts, like they even know what they're talking about. And if they follow it up with anybody else that disagrees doesn't know what they're looking at, you can say literally anything you want. Okay, but the fact of it is, our system is designed, was invented to help a quarterback. Period.
To make it easier for a quarterback to
Definitely.
transition from college to NFL.
Well, it's not that, Miss Phins. It's that you don't need to have a big arm because you're trying to move the ball in a different fashion. You're utilizing the flanks. You're moving the ball east and west and waiting for your openings.
You know, one of the things that bothered me is back in the time frame when Tyreek was traded for, I was screaming for the Dolphins to go after Deebo Samuel instead. He was younger, less costly, and he had a better fit for the offensive profile because now what you have is you have Lilliputian wide receivers who can't block. And you just have this speed gimmick offense. Instead of putting together a true NFL offense, a guy that's open when he's not open kind of thing. And eventually what happens is when you play the better team, when the Dolphins play the better teams in the league, the teams with the defense, and they can do things strategically that other teams and poorer teams can't do because they don't have the personnel, they're dead. So unless and then I keep hearing people say, well, we got to get two or more weapons. What more weapons do you need? It's not like you don't have the weapons, you don't have the right
exactly.
weapons.
When you're one dimensional, there's only one type of wide receiver you can get.
That's why I was screaming for Deebo instead of Tyreek Hill. Deebo is a much more flexible player, and he could do more things in that offense. And you have those two receivers instead of Hill and Waddle. That's a completely different offense. It's a much more difficult offense to play defense against. And I don't know, all of a sudden this Tyreek love fest. And yeah, I do hope, he's turned his personal life around. I do. I don't want anybody to go through and then be,
Yeah, nobody deserves
pointed
that.
at the rest of his
We're
life
still
because he's
human.
done things when he was younger. I don't want that to happen to anybody. And he might
Can we see?
be a good citizen now, but his conduct doesn't necessarily show that.
Does more. They're multi-dimensional at the position. Debo can be a running back. He could be a halfback, as wide receiver, and a tight end. Well, Tyreek Hill only can do one position. He can't do all three. Just
just the film on Ladarius Sneed just like knocking him to the turf. It's like, are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me with this stuff. So when you have a one-dimensional offense, what you have to do, and what we've learned, is that teams that can generate an inside pass rush will get pressure on Tua, will throw his timing off, and when you can rush with 4 and drop 7 back, your speed offense goes to poop in a handbasket. It doesn't work.
Well,
Yep. Yeah, it's
my personal issue
defensive
is.
coordinator.
Oh,
I'm sorry, fans.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying defensive coordinators over time know how to scheme and stop it, especially when you're not multi-dimensional. When you have
That was what I was
too
gonna
many,
say.
Yes.
too many limited players, make it easy to scheme over time and later in the season. That's why
I'm
you have
okay.
the season collapses, because there's a lot of film and data out on you for the first 3 quarters of the season. Then the last quarter of the season, you pretty much be checkmated by great defensive coordinators that's not stupid and doing the same thing that the other was doing.
But the
That's
key
what
thing,
makes it
Crypto, is you have to have the defensive personnel. A lot of teams don't have it.
that too.
Kansas
Yeah.
City has it. Buffalo has it. Philadelphia has it. Baltimore has it. Not every
Yeah.
team in the league is going to have that. So the Dolphins will continue to get wins with the speed offense against inferior defenses. But when they play the better teams that can generate 4-person pass rush and drop 7 in the secondary, is when the Dolphins will fail and Tua will fail, because we can say anything we want, but Tua's accuracy is not great, because accuracy to me is not a completed pass. Accuracy is if you need to throw the receiver open. You need to make those throws so the wide
Mark,
receiver is
I
not
finally
diving.
came up. I didn't come up with it. I just finally remembered the
Yeah.
word that is almost a synonym to accuracy, but more describes ball placement than accuracy does. The word is precision.
Perfect term.
Yeah.
That's the
There is a
perfect term.
difference between accuracy and precision.
Thank you.
No
Yeah, it is.
color.
Accuracy incorporates the correct choice as well. Precision is just raw ball placement.
I watched like about an 8-minute video clip this morning on Dan Marino, and I was looking at a lot of his throws and the things that he was doing, the ability to shift and move in the pocket to get himself to, that nth of a time to get a ball off, and it was accurate and precise and to the open receiver.
Well, you
And
have to
that's
think
why I
about
think
this.
Marino can't be considered anything best than the best pure passer that I've ever seen.
Right.
You're saying he's not the best pure passer?
He
No.
is the best pure passer I have ever seen.
Oh,
Period. End of statement. Because
dude, I was about
like I
to
said, I
boot
watched
you
an 8-minute clip
off.
on him this morning, and I was watching all these magnificent passes and unbelievable.
You were about to be
You see
caught
the
off,
ball
buddy.
downfield more often than today's quarterbacks do. And Marino pointed that out on the Super Bowl thing. He
Yeah, he
said,
did
look, we see the ball down the field more often. That's what kind of hurt the quarterbacks back then, the completion percentage, because when they do, it's either a dump off on the outlet or you're going vertical most of the time, more often than not. It wasn't like all these.
I found it interesting also.
Oh, what a
that
coincidence,
after Connor
Crypto.
Williams'
What a
injury, the
coincidence that
Dolphins' offense
80% of the teams in the league are running a West Coast now, which doesn't go north and south and down the field. Wow, what a coincidence that Marino said that.
Exactly. Right.
So when you're throwing the ball 20 times to your running back in the flat, that doesn't make you accurate because your completion percentage is 80%.
Correct.
It doesn't make you precise. It might make you accurate, but it doesn't make you precise.
A statistic that I haven't looked up, and I don't know if it's going to be available to find. But I would like to see what the Marx Brothers yards after catch numbers were. I don't know if they were even looked at back in that time frame.
Pro Football Reference has it. I've
Okay.
seen them. Don't ask me, like, I can't remember exactly, but I know they do have them. So if you're looking for that, you just
I,
gotta
I
go
just
to
have to look it
OT
up. I just have to look it up for
stats.
like
Well,
Beeper
it
and
also
Clayton
might
from
be
like
kind of
1984
skewed.
to
It might be kind of
1992.
skewed, Mark, because Marino could throw a 45-yard pass on a rope, and because of the ability to do that, it's usually leaving one of those guys with nobody around him to tackle, so they're going to clean up the rest of the 20 yards, even on a 45-yard pass. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know, but I'm watching these players today. I'm watching primarily Duper and Clayton making catches, and a few others making catches on passes that Marino
Like
would
they got
throw
their
and drop
yak
into the
because there
bucket
was no
from.
safety left by the time Marino
Yeah,
cooked them. you know?
and and the one thing that I've found is that there's a lot of the two-and-ears that are saying, well, Tua's got as good a mobility as Marino. Please stop.
Whatever, man.
Marino could shuffle into the pocket, take a step out, move to the left, reset. There was one play that I saw this morning
Oh, hold up.
that
I'm
he was
willing to
a
give two
patriot.
of that.
A patriot defensive player was on him. He
Yeah,
veered
but
to
it's
his
like
left,
9 days.
reset, set his hip straight, and threw from a right-handed stance down the sideline on a 60-yard rope. It's like, you got to be kidding me. And compared to that,
Well, another
No,
thing that
no,
gets
no. I will
the,
say this: he has gotten better though. Since his
gotten
rookie
better.
year,
Right,
he has
right,
gotten better. He has
right.
improved. So I'm not gonna take that away from him
Right,
either
but
because
but
well,
don't be
he's not
fooled
playing
by
with a
the man
broken hip
behind the
anymore.
curtain, Miss Fins.
no, I'm not
Don't
gonna
be
call him Marino. That's
no
disrespectful
no
to
no
him.
no. What I'm saying is don't confuse pocket presence and pocket mobility with climbing a clean pocket that nobody needs to climb. So in
Yeah,
other words,
sometimes
a
he
lot of the
creates his
times
own
it looks
pressure.
like
I
he's
know. I've
a
seen
lot of
it.
the times it
I've
looks
literally
like
seen
he's
the film.
doing what I'm saying is a lot of the times it looks like he's doing something amazing in the pocket, but he doesn't even have to.
Right.
He's
And he
programmed
maneuvers
to make it
himself
look
into
that way.
pressure. And then we talk about the lack of precision. You might have Hill making some incredible leaping catch, or Waddle making some low ball catch, and you're not getting the yards after the catch that are needed. Versus a quarterback who is spot on the money. I can, because I'm an outsider here, I can look at Buffalo and I can see their yards after the catch move from like 32 up to 15th this year because of the way that they were running their offense. Their receivers can't separate. They don't. Buffalo doesn't have anything close to anything like Hill or Waddle, who are getting separation. Can you imagine swapping Allen and Tua? Put Tua on Buffalo. Buffalo wins 7 games. Put Allen on Miami. They're probably a Super Bowl team.
No, I'm not gonna go there. I don't think that this system is built where Josh Allen would be able to.
It doesn't mean
You're doing it again, Miss Fins, and with all due respect to you, I just
Hey,
cannot go with
relax,
that.
okay? I gotta play devil's advocate. Don't come for me. Relax. If I, what I was gonna say is there are multiple quarterbacks that can. So I'm not gonna take that away from him. It's just personally, as
Miss
far
Fins,
as
can you imagine
what's
a
his
guy
name?
like a Josh Allen who can run and make time in the pocket instead of having to get everything
We
off
have
in less
a
than
guy like that
2.5
already.
seconds?
That's the problem. We have a guy like
Who
that already. He just needs to get developed.
who do you have?
What do you mean? Who do we have?
well, it's developmental. You talking about our backups is a developmental. That's what she's
I was
talking
gonna
Yeah.
about.
say because Tua's not it.
No, 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 no.
Doesn't
I'm
have the
talking about
capability.
Skylar
Skyler,
Thompson.
So Miss Fins, so
Skyler Thompson
I
is a
just did
poor
a
man's
little
Josh
I
Allen,
just did a little
and
look up, a little cursory search, and the Buffalo Bills happen to run the Earhart Perkins system right now, which is basically the inverse of the West Coast, designed by
yes,
two Patriot guys back in the day and utilized by the great Bill Belichick. Um, and it also happens to be the offense that Tua ran his first 2 seasons. And do we not sit here and say that Tua did better at distributing the football the first 2 seasons than he has the last 2?
Right.
I mean,
Distribution.
Well, I
yeah, by
think with
definition.
So
McDaniels coming in as head coach, I
if
think
Tua
this
can
is
play
really
in
going to
Josh
help.
Allen's system, why couldn't Josh Allen play in Tua's? It's an
Guys, I'm
Earhart
saying it
Perkins to
because
a West
I'm a
Coast.
Bills hater. Gosh, obviously, a guy like Josh
Right.
Allen or a quarterback with his skill
No,
set
no,
would still
I'm
be
well,
able to
okay, okay.
improve
Pause a
performance.
second. What the narrative I'm trying to squash is that this offense can only be exclusively run by Tua.
Correct.
It's a
No, I
terrible
don't
narrative
believe
that's
that
been
at
put
all,
out
man.
there for the last year, and I'm tired of that narrative because it's just simply not
It's a
true.
lazy narrative.
You realize that
It's
It's a
not even
lazy
true. It's
narrative.
not even lazy. It's not even true, Miss Phins. It's a lie. Lazy's one thing. A lie is an outright lie.
and that's an indirect shot at McDaniel. If your head coach can't run more than one system based on personnel, then he's not a good coach. Because Don Shula went from the 70s running a run-first offense to Dan
Yep.
Marino in
Yep.
10 years.
Yep.
So if your coach can't run multiple systems given the personnel that
And
he's
there,
given, then he's not the right coach, period.
and I looked at all of the years of Don Shula. I went back and looked at each one of them on Pro Football Reference Crypto. There were some years it's listed different than others, and there were some years they didn't even say what system we used. Like there's a blank spot.
Right. That just means your coach morphed based on the
That's
personnel.
called the Marino system.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's be real.
Well, even as
You go
time
by
evolved,
And Mike
from the
based on
Tomlin
what
Dolphins
did
in
the
your
same thing
72
with
to
quarterback can
Michigan.
do.
73 and 74 before
He
the
did,
defections
yeah,
to
he
the
didn't.
WFL. Greasy started throwing the football more and more after they started moving away and after Zonka and Kick left. By 78, the Dolphins were primarily a throwing football team with Benny Malone at running back, as you might remember.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Mark. He only took him less
All
than
heads
10
have
years
that.
to do that, to morph into
Right. You know,
a
he
new
had
style coach.
Shula evolved within the decade itself. And by the
Right.
time Marino came around, I'll never forget this because I always like to listen to or watch highlights of like the '83 draft, and they get down to the point where the Jets pass on Marino to pick Kenny
Kenny O'Brien.
or Kenny
It was
O'Brien,
Kenny O'Brien.
and they were talking about Paul Zimmerman was saying, "Well, I don't know who this great coach in Miami is going to be able to get the best out of a Dan Marino." And Chris Berman comes on shortly afterwards. He goes, "He's got Don Shula. He'll be okay."
Cool. Well, I mean, when you have a
If you can
legendary
ever find
coach
it, if
like
you can
that,
ever
come
find
on,
the clip
man.
of the, or if you can actually see the special that's called Elway to Marino, because I think it was Melvin Driftlag was the agent for both quarterbacks. He had both quarterbacks, and when the time came around, and it was kind of a humorous story because it came down. Dan Rooney of the Steelers had investigations put on Marino because they thought he was into the drug culture. And come to find out it wasn't. But then he told the special investigator, "You don't tell anybody this." And then the Steelers get to the point where they get to the 21st pick in the draft, and they decided to go with Gabriel Rivera, who could have been a very talented defensive tackle. Unfortunately, he was paralyzed in a car accident 6 games into his career, and he passed on Marino. But just imagine, and then that following season, Terry Bradshaw got hurt, and he was done for the rest of his career. They could have gone from Bradshaw to Marino.
Yeah, that was the bridge for them, which would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy because they would have had a dynasty that would have lasted for 20 years.
Forever.
With
Yeah,
that
and
team,
then, of course, the following
with
season,
that
remember
team,
what happened?
holy
Mark Malone.
smokes.
Well, remember what happened in next season. Mark Malone actually led the rest of the remnants of that Steeler team into Miami and got beat by Marino 45-28 in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if he was on that Steelers team. They probably would have beaten the Dolphins by that same score.
Right.
Pretty
The Dolphins wouldn't have had Marino. They'd have stayed with David Woodley and Don Strock.
Right.
The undefeated season would have been blown, all of it.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have beat the
probably would have gone
Bears. We wouldn't.
back-to-back undefeated.
Comparisons.
No, what I'm saying, we wouldn't have stopped the Bears from going undefeated that year.
Right.
Yep.
No, that's true.
Oh.
You're right. Wouldn't have stopped the Bears from going undefeated. Yeah. It took Marino to destroy one of the greatest defenses in history to stop
85.
that from. So yeah, you're right, Color. The Bears would have actually tied it the undefeated season that year.
I mean, there's nothing saying they wouldn't have lost another game, but
But no,
everybody looks
They were
back and says
over
we're the
13
ones
games
that
into the
stopped
season, I
their
think, by
perfect
that point.
season, you know?
but no, it was our team. But that was it. You know, it took an extraordinary
And for whatever
Yeah,
happened
I
on
mean,
that
they
rainy
were
day in
15
the
and 1.
85 championship game, they lost to New England
Yep.
because of the lousy field and the fumbles, remember? Or else you could have had a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah,
I
been a
really
Super
wish
Bowl.
he would have gotten one.
And
Just
that
one,
Patriots
man.
was like a placeholder team. That was
Just
sixth,
one.
man.
That they was
That's
placeholders.
all I
For,
Like
wanted.
they weren't even trying to win that year. Like it's not like they had any of like who was it? I don't even know who was throwing the football for them. Tony Eason or somebody?
Tony Eason.
Grogan.
Remember, yeah, they had Tony Eason, and they pulled Grogan in to play in the second half against the Bears game after the Bears nudged them like 37-3 at the half or something.
Yeah, yeah, they both. Yeah, I think in that
it
one,
was horrible, and I'll never forget that AFC Championship game. The Dolphins were by far the better team. They were highly favored. They had the home field advantage, and nobody talks about that particular team. That was another team that should have went to the Super Bowl. The Dolphins should have been in the 84 and 85 Super Bowl games.
yeah, those were the two seasons back to back that could have gotten a back to back for Marino, and that would have been more than enough to solidify his legacy.
Yeah, but that was back before we were allowed to use the rigging excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, like this season, so funny.
No, they played it. Color. Remember,
they were kind of profiling Baltimore and San Francisco all season long. They had the colors on the Super Bowl logo, but then the next thing you know, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift come into play. The NFL makes $31 billion and gets all of the female demographic, adding to their audience factor to see Taylor Swift. I knew the moment that was a thing, the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl game. You know, and I still go back to that Buffalo Kansas City playoff game, and you know the Bills are coming in 2nd and 9 with 2 minutes to go. KC had 2 timeouts. The Bills had the ball at the Kansas City 27. And the smart thing to do, if it's a non-rigged league, is to say, okay, we're going to play first down offense now. We're going to force Kansas City to use their timeouts, and we're either going to score a touchdown to win the game with almost no time left, or we're going to kick a field goal to tie the game and put it into overtime. What do the Buffalo Bills come out and do? Allen goes back, and he's got Diggs on a shallow crosser at about the 20-yard line, wide open. Could have had the completion easily, probably gotten the first down, forced KC to use a timeout, and then run the clock out to either tie the game or win it at the end. What do the Bills do? They throw a pass that Chris Jones, hits Allen, and it comes up 5 yards short in the back of the end zone. But even if they'd have scored that touchdown and gone ahead 31-27, they would have left Mahomes 1:45 and 2 timeouts. Buffalo still would have lost. So it was completely imbecilic play calling. And then on 3rd down, Allen just threw the ball out of bounds on a sideline route. So don't tell me the thing wasn't fixed. What coach makes those calls? Oh, let's throw it deep into the end zone to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, who has a history of beating your sorry bottom. With 13 seconds left.
Especially when plenty of coaches have been fired for a lot less.
Yes.
They have been fired.
You just knew Baltimore wasn't going to win that. Baltimore was not going to win that championship game because it was going to be the Taylor Swift show. CBS has got the national broadcast. Oh, look at the amount of women we're going to be adding to our demographic on this. Look how much money we're going to make.
And the crazy thing is, Mark, it's finite. It's not like any of these 12-year-old girls are going to be lifelong football fans now. The female the females in the fan bases have always been there, and that these women really know football. The females that they brought in with the Taylor Swift gig have no idea. Half of them have never even watched the sport. So I guarantee you, when Taylor Swift is gone, so are they.
Yep, and
there's not going to be a new generation of female football watchers. The reason we have female football watchers is because our sons and everybody brought our women up with us and taught them. You know what I mean? And say, hey,
Yep.
you want to be with me? You want to partake in what I'm doing? Here's how, at least for me, I sat there, I taped football games and I sat there and paused them and showed my mother on the TV what was going on, play by play. So she didn't feel like she was watching some boring nonsense.
And then let's go to the Super Bowl.
That's how you bring females into football fandom. You don't just go get some pop star and be like, oh, now they love football.
Well, see, the NFL is setting up their storyline for next year because they wanted Kansas City to win 2 Super Bowls in a row to set up the three-peat. But if you watch the last series of drives that Kansas City had, Mahomes threw a pass that he was rushed on between 2 San Francisco defenders about 15 to 20 yards down the field. There wasn't a Chiefs receiver in the same area code. No flag for illegal grounding, which is effectively what that was. On one of the plays, the Bosa came around and in number 79 for Kansas City, I forget which one of their tackles it was, literally goes back and puts his hand around the neck of Nick Bosa and throws him down to the turf. I mean, there were 3 blatant penalty calls, and then I still have to wonder on that one pass that Mahomes ran for 2 yards after the play. And it's like, okay, why are we calling this a first down? Because the previous spot I thought was short, but it wasn't. They gave him the first down and they gave Mahomes 3 yards, so they gave the Chiefs an extra down that nobody brought up. So they've got this thing completely rigged. But I have figured out Buffalo's strategy for next year. What the Bills have to do is they have to come up to have the most politically correct approach to be able to get the national draw, to get the gig. So I predict that Buffalo is going to embrace some LGBTQ person and have them become in love with somebody's mother that's a player on the Bills team to be able to draw the audience profile to get the Bills into the Super Bowl. That's the pathway.
And your secession to Canada will be complete.
Wasn't going to be enough.
You said that will be enough to overthrow the Taylor Swift?
Well,
right.
I think Tyler.
But Mark, at that point, your secession to Canada will be complete.
That will have to be a tremendous draw.
Yeah, it's going to have to be what team is going to have.
Dropped off there.
Listen, real quick. I need you guys to give me a second. Give me a second, guys, because I want to make sure that this is clear. Let's not bring none of that stuff over here, none of the political stuff, because I don't know who gonna get triggered or not triggered. I just don't want to hear. Okay, I'd appreciate.
We got to be careful. You're true. That's true.
Yeah.
I think we can actually just simply say the NFL is rigging a scenario to be able to get outcomes that they can sell. Let's just put it that way. But this is an
entertainment league. You know that, right? It's an entertainment league. So this league, it's already it's literally made to sell.
Considered a cast, and those casts have to play roles to a certain extent to get that outcome too.
They do. They wear white and.
Yeah, I mean, again, they can only rig it so far because, look, if they're rigging it and they need a wide receiver to catch a football and he just physically drops it, what are they going to do about that? They can't go and make him catch the football.
Well, they'll call pass interference is what they'll do.
No, I get it. I get it, bro.
Rig it through the officials.
You can only rig it so much, man. Do I think that they take advantage? Do I think that they do everything they can to? Do I think that they do everything they can to foment a storyline? Yeah, but outright rigging, unless you're talking about point shaving and stuff like that, there's, what are they going to do?
I think they're just going to higher ratings so they can get the.
You would have to have there's 1,600 players in the league, dude. You would have to have all 1,600 players on board with the conspiracy, because all it takes is one wide receiver to catch the touchdown that they wanted him to drop.
Well, let me ask you, Culler, if Shakir catches a touchdown pass that Allen threw on 2nd and 9 and leaves the Chiefs a minute 45 down 4 points and 2 timeouts, do you seriously think Buffalo's going to win that game?
No, that's why
No.
you should have been running the ball.
Well, they should have been playing first down offense. But the question, here comes the question: why didn't they?
Okay, but you're still missing my point, bro. You're still missing my point. You're still missing my point. Let's say Sean McDermott is in on it, right? Let's just say, because I think that's what you're suggesting, right? Let's say he's in on it.
I'm suggesting.
Well, hold on. What happens though? What happens though?
Let him finish.
If McDermott's in on it, calls bad plays, but the players, because they're not in on it, execute the play so well that it still works and thwarts his attempt to rig it.
It wouldn't have mattered because the Kansas City Chiefs would have won that game anyway. Mahomes would have driven the Chiefs back out and still
You're missing my point, bro. You're missing my point.
Even if they don't, Mark, they score. Who is to say that your defense?
You can only rig it so much. You can only have so much influence without all 1,600 players in the league being in on it.
Right. You got to have.
But then you're going to have the pass interference call that's going to happen, and everybody's going to question the call, and that'll give them controversy.
Okay, all that can do is harbor stuff. That can't actually change the outcome. That can only harbor stuff. That can only foment a certain outcome. It can't guarantee it. Rigging would be, our players are all like WWE athletes and they're all contracted to do what we tell them to do.
WWE, exactly. Yeah.
That's rigging.
Less people involved is easier to rig, but more people involved is much harder to rig.
This is the whole, not to get on a sidebar with all conspiracy theories. With all conspiracy theories, mainly the big one that'll remain nameless right now because I don't want to bring that to Miss Finn's show. But you would have, logistically speaking, for that to be pulled off, you would have had to have like 3,000 people in on it. And all 3,000 of those people would have had to keep their mouths shut.
Well,
that's almost impossible.
Question in color. The last two Buffalo plays on 2nd and 9 and in 3rd and 9 justify those calls. In juxtaposition,
I'm not saying they do, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that McDermott didn't do something to try to change the outcome. I'm simply saying they can only affect it so much. It is still a sport.
No,
there is still uncertainty, is what I'm saying. Whereas in wrestling, in WWE, there is no uncertainty unless a wrestler literally breaks his leg and can't continue, and he was the one that was supposed to win. They'll still try to write it for him to win somehow.
Well,
but
the top of the rope leaf that took off Yukon Eric's ear back in the early '60s, was that a boo-boo?
Well, what I'm saying is, there's nothing going to change the outcome in a WWE match.
True. Those are scripted and they practice.
And even if the wrestler that was supposed to win gets injured in the match, they will still make him some kind of storyline to make him win that match. By the end of it,
I was at Boston.
To that point, Culler, if it wasn't for the tragic accident of Owen Hart, he was supposed to win that match coming down from the rafters.
Right. I guess there you go, Crypto. A wrestler literally has to die for them to not know what's going to happen.
Right. That's the only thing that foiled.
I wonder how many times they had to practice the move. In 1982, I was at Boston Garden, and Bob Backlund was still the WWE champion, and he was against Jimmy Superfly Snuka in a cage match. Well, Snuka goes up to the top of the cage, 15 feet. And he goes out and he does a Superfly leap, and he does the headbutt on Backlund, who moves his head out of the way, and Snuka literally headbutted the ring apron. And Backlund just like rolls him over and gets the pinfall and wins the match and retains the championship. Is that like a practice thing, or is that just something where the guy just missed the move?
I sometimes I wonder if there's a certain amount of oh, you messed up the move, so let's roll with that. You know what I mean? Because the commentator is actually in direct two-way communication with the referee. The commentator is actually controlling the storyline. In recent history, it's traditionally been Jim Ross. Jim Ross is actually the producer of all those shows.
Sure. Remember the thing that came out after I think Roddy Piper died was actually he hit the coconuts that he hit Snuka with were like softened already, so they couldn't do any damage. Except he actually hit him with a real coconut.
It's like the other night I saw a clip of a guy that got hurt. I forget who it was. He did a flying leap, and the guy pulled up his knees, and I don't think the guy was supposed to counter because it ended up breaking the guy's ribs or whatever, right? And as soon as the guy lifted up his knees and the guy splashed onto his knees, the ref ran down in the prone position, like yelling in the ear of the guy that lifted his knees up, as if he was saying, like, what the heck are you doing? You know, like, or something. Like he was scolding him or something, bro.
Yeah.
Because I know there have been mismoved. There was a time frame.
Well, because he slid down there and was like acting like he was asking the guy if he's all right, but he's not the one that got injured. You know what I mean? So why is he doing that? And I think it was because he was reprimanding him for messing up the storyline.
I remember Shelton Benjamin did like a off the top of the ring leap, and I think it was Shawn Michaels that was down on the mat, and he brought his knees up, and Benjamin missed where he was supposed to land, and Shawn Michaels' knees caught him right in the onions. I thought poor Shelton Benjamin was going to die. Was going to die right at that instant.
Yeah.
But yeah, my point was the fact that I think the league does whatever they can do to get the matchups in place to draw the maximum audience.
Right, but you notice, Mark, there's always about 4 or 5 possible storylines that could sell. Now, they probably prefer the one that would sell more projection-wise, you know what I mean? But they have it set up to where any of them can be a big storyline, bro.
Right.
It's just the Taylor Swift one was the biggest one, and that's the one they probably preferred.
Yeah, they gotta cash in. They gotta cash in as much.
And so they probably did things to foment that. But in a professional sport, you can still do things to overcome that. If you're scoring 50, what are the referees going to do?
Nothing.
This is very, very true. So, what do you guys think of my analysis of what the Dolphins ought to do about making Tua play on his 5th-year option and letting all the free agents go and drawing comp picks?
We're not getting comp picks. We never do.
Sounds good to me.
No, you would
none of
get
the guys that we let go.
Let's just say you let Wilkins go, you let Hunt go, you let Williams go, you let Van Ginkel go, and a few others, and you just don't sign anybody. That's how you get comp picks. Because your net free agent losses have to exceed your net free agent gains. So stop signing free agents. Use this draft a center and a guard.
We can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that?
We can't do that, Mark. That's literally unrealistic.
Why is it unrealistic?
We can't do that. We don't have enough draft picks.
Not this year. I'm talking about 2025. Forget 2024. 2024 is going to be a down year anyway. But what's wrong with my idea of letting Tua play in his 5th-year option and moving off of him at the end of the year and you're done with him? And getting rid of all of your quality free agents that are going to sign someplace else, and don't sign any free agents, so have a net free agent loss.
Because, Mark, they're so afraid that Tua is going to change and cost us more money after next year. That's what they're afraid of.
Yep.
That leads to a simple question: is the problem in Miami?
With zero evidence to project that. I don't know why they think that, because there's zero evidence to make that projection, but whatever.
Nothing that I've seen from Tua tells me that he's going to develop into this magnificent quarterback, and if you let him move on, he's going to lead somebody else to the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. Plus,
right, he's already like transitioning into middle age too, man. It's like, come on, people.
That's the big
And well,
one.
you also
I'm
have
gonna
to
go
look at,
with you what
Cal.
you Brees
How many
did.
teams can Tua go to where he can't go to any East Coast team? He can't go to any place where there's weather. So he's going to be limited to a dome team or a team that's in Southern California or the West.
Arizona.
And they have Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't want Kyler Murray, so they're
But
they're trying to
they
look
just
to
signed
get
to
off
like
of
a
him
5-year
too.
contract, so they're going to be stuck with him for 3 more years.
Right, but that don't mean they're not going to be looking to find a way to get off of that. You know,
Well, you know
trade or
what?
whatever.
Every team, there are not enough idiot general managers in the league that'll give up a 2nd-round pick for a Josh Rosen. Thank you, Chris Greer.
Yeah, I know, Mark. I appreciate you coming through, man. It's already been 3 hours. I got a headache and I
All
got a
right.
show in the
Hey,
morning. But I
thanks for
appreciate
the
your.
Streamland chat, and you take care. You guys have a nice evening.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming through. Honestly,
Okay. Bye bye.
Crypto.
You too,
Thank you
my
so much for
fellow
coming
doppelganger.
through. Much appreciate you, sirs, for coming to in our League Wide Wednesday season finale. Much,
Mm-hmm.
much, much appreciated. That
Yeah,
was.
sorry to be such a crab apple, Miss Fins, but it is what it is.
What do you mean, crab apples?
It's the
What are
off
you talking about?
season. What you
I've
said?
been a crab apple.
Well,
I'm like totally like done with this incarnation of our team.
no, that's what we got to deal with. It is what it is at this point. But look,
Well, I'll say this much: is you never be ashamed of turning in your test early, because you walk out of the lecture hall first doesn't make you stupid. It just means you could be the smartest one because it don't take you long to figure out a mathematical equation.
well,
There's a
all
lot
I
of
know
people.
is
There's a lot of people that took their test early and said this version of this team is not what's doing it. Here, professor, here's my exam. I'm turning in my results. I took my test.
Especially since the class is not quantum physics, crypto. It's football. It's not rocket science.
Right. Those people that's needing to spend extra time taking this exam that we've been taking for 30 years already to figure out what the answers is to the test, that's on them if they want to stay in the lecture
Yeah,
hall.
they act like a general manager is going to win a Nobel Prize or something.
Yeah. You can't be making somebody feel ashamed because they
well, I guess
turned
that's
in
what
their
they
test
feel.
early.
Well, think about it, Miss Fins. Let's go on old stereotypes. They're football players. I mean, I'm sorry, but not all of them understand the things I understand in life. And guess what? I ceased to be a football player because of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, we can't.
Not
Yeah,
saying it's not all okay. Football can be complicated. I'm not saying it don't take intelligence to understand the sport and be successful and all that.
no,
I'm
but you
just
got
saying
some
there's
real
levels.
intelligence to run
Like
this
a
offense.
football player is not going to be an astronaut anytime soon. Just saying.
You need to
Well, I think this
have
might be a good time.
this offense color. In order to run it, you must have some amplitude of quantum physics. In order to
Well,
run
the
this
quarterback does have to be able to read defenses really well. That is a moniker of the West Coast for sure.
yeah,
Well,
but
this might be.
they're trying to make it seem like you have to know quantum physics in order to run this
Right,
offense.
and guess which system you don't have to have that kind of knowledge? The Earhart Perkins system. For everybody that thinks Tom Brady is such an intelligent quarterback, the system was designed to be easy.
Yeah, Erhard Perkins, what he ran his whole
The
career.
language is sort of complicated, but the system is easy once you understand the language and you memorize the codes. It's easy. You can literally run anything out of the same formation.
Exactly. Good point, because if I learn quantum physics in English and I take a Japanese course, I still learn quantum physics. Now, just because I'm speaking Japanese doesn't make quantum physics that much harder.
Right. It's the language that's hard or unknown.
Exactly.
It's how to express it.
It's still quantum physics. Just because I took a Japanese course and I now learned how to speak Japanese doesn't change the fact that quantum physics is the subject that I learned.
Exactly.
Well, I
Everybody wants
totally
to
see that.
believe that this offense is quantum
Well,
physics.
it's like there's another analogy you could use if you've watched any Star Trek. You ever notice how see we forget we're still thinking we do the same thing when we think about history, but we do the same thing also when we think about the future, right? We think we're going to be the same. Like we think of these people that are flying the shuttlecraft, that are piloting the shuttlecraft. We think that they're like us and that they think the same way. And where I'll point that out, the difference is, you ever notice how like a person in Starfleet, maybe they're on a stranded on a planet
Yep.
and there's an alien shuttlecraft there. You notice how they can get in behind the cockpit, look at the buttons for a little while, figure it out after about 5 minutes, and be able to fly the thing?
Yeah, the flight, exactly.
Because the concepts are pretty much the same. Once you
Yup.
figure out, oh, that button
Independence
does that,
Day.
you know what I mean? You're good.
Independence Day. One of my favorite all-time
Exactly.
movies, man. Shout out to Jeff Goldblum. Shout out to Will Smith. Like that.
Yep.
Oh man, Bill
The
Pullman.
application of aviation
What
is
a
Oh
still the
yeah,
same.
that was great. That's a great one too. You know, once you get, hey, it's got a yoke, it's got a joystick. I can do this. You know what I mean? Just gonna take me a minute. You know?
Right.
Oh, it's a
exactly.
little touchy. You know, but whatever. They don't need to
Exactly.
know what the symbols mean on the joystick. They just got to know what it does when they move it.
Exactly. Exactly. You can go
That
into a
is true,
totally different aircraft and
gentlemen.
fly. Those principles. My bad.
No, you're good. Listen, I'm shutting this down. I'm tired. Okay, but I appreciate everybody coming through. Crypto, give me your last thoughts, man. Cause it's I know it's great. We love talking, but I gotta get out of here, man. I got a show in the morning. So
My whole
talk
thing
to
about
us.
us, my whole thing, I'll sum it up with this. You know, about us being stuck in purgatory.
The Taylor Swift.
If you're not, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. That's all I need to say. And moving
So
forward
if
with
you're
this
not
iteration
first,
of
you're
the
last.
team, you're moving backwards. That's literally what goes on in this world, physically, scientifically. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards because everything is in motion. Because everything
Unless
else,
you're a unless you're a presentist that believes that there's an absolute present.
right? Exactly. Right.
But to your point about motion, if there was an absolute present, the absolute present would be frozen in time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, yeah. Well, Crypto, thank you for your infinite wisdom, sir, and always coming through. Which actually, before you go, I will be doing a behind the seat new show that I'm
Oh, yeah.
introducing. And what I mean is we're gonna be the GMs. Yeah, we're gonna be the GMs.
Oh,
I
right.
got Madden, and we're gonna be building the Miami Dolphins, and we're gonna go
Cool.
through all that this offseason. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Different concepts. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up for you guys so you guys can see it.
All right.
But yeah, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto, appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Miss Fins. All right.
All right,
Sorry,
Crypto.
dude, I
Thanks,
totally
man.
took him
It's all right.
out.
I'll text him later.
Close us out, man. It's season finale. Let me bring in my camera back. What's up, guys? Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
wait, real quick. You got to run through impacts. Did either one of us do anything in the impact section?
we didn't even finish nothing, bro. I didn't even go over
I
our
know.
score. We
I
did it the
know.
whole show, 3 hours. Why does this always happen? Oh, I'm
Any
telling you right
notables on
now.
the impact players quickly?
Actually, yes. You and I each got one, in my opinion. Um, you got Patrick Mahomes, and I got Valdez Scantling. So
Wow. Look at that. Didn't he score
without
the
faith,
go
there's
ahead
no hope.
touchdown?
Yes, he did. No. Miko Harmon did.
Oh, I mean, in the regular period, didn't he score a tying touchdown or something? Or
I think he did. I'll tell you right now. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I think he did.
yeah, and I guess, and since nobody would argue that the difference in that game was the quarterback, I think I'll definitely take the victory on that one,
Yes, he
Patrick
did.
Mahomes.
He caught the touchdown. He caught the touchdown, a 16-yard pass from Patrick Mahomes.
If
So yeah,
Patrick
he did in the third
Mahomes
quarter.
don't get that 20-yard scramble for a first down, they don't win.
No, they don't. But yeah, he got that touchdown that brought him to 10 within 3 points in the third quarter. So all the way up to the third quarter, man. Technically, all the way up to the fourth quarter, start of the fourth quarter, it was all Niners. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So you got one, I got one, and the score part, which is always a lot of fun for us. We both picked the Chiefs, but you, sir, definitely got closest. You said 27-24. I said 31-28. So
Oh man, I was
we were
spot
pretty
on.
close.
Almost spot
Not
on.
spot on, but you were really close. Yeah, you were really close. Same point
Uh
differential we both got, but I was just slightly less.
yeah, the other thing
Yeah.
about running backs, while my pick was definitely not the impact because he didn't even play in the game. Uh did you hear the
Joe
news?
Mixon.
Did you
No.
hear the news? Since
No.
he's looking
Say
to
the
move,
news already.
since he is looking to move off of Joe Mixon.
He's gonna end up in the Ravens. Watch.
Oh, are you kidding me? Bring him home. Oh, best name in all of sports has to be a Miami Dolphin. Come on, man.
Mark my words, man. They're gonna give him another weapon, and it's gonna be Joe Mixon. Watch. Watch. I'm telling you right now, dude. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. It is what it is. Um,
Oh, if
we'll
we
see.
land
So
Joe Mixon, oh, that's going to be so awesome. He's going to
I know
become
you're
my favorite
instantly
player
buying his
overnight.
jersey. You're instantly
Overnight,
buying
he's going
his
to be my
jersey.
favorite player.
I already know you, so instantly buying his jersey, which is hilarious. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is League Wide Wednesday season finale, man. Finale, season 2, episode 24. Can you believe that? 24 weeks we've been doing this, guys. That's a long time. We're gonna continue this puppy in the new season when it comes up. If Color's still, interested in doing it. If not, I'm booting himself and getting someone else new. But League Wide Wednesday is here to stay. I appreciate all of you guys. As a
Dang,
final
man,
thought,
it's a brutal league over here on YouTube, man. It's like
hey, doggy dog world, you know what I mean? We got to bring in numbers. They're
nobody
KPIs.
nobody falls in love with co-hosts around here, huh? Dang.
I love you, man, but
No,
we
I meant like
gotta.
falling in love with a player. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no Mike Gesicki's around here,
Oh,
man. It's
oh,
like,
yeah. If you ain't making it, deuces. But yeah, no. Oh, last thing, the over is definitely hit, and I know you and I were live looking at that. Ladies and gentlemen, the total times that the
10,
greatest
was it 10? I counted 10.
12 times.
12?
In,
And
12 times in game.
remember what I
In game.
said?
Only in game though. It
Right.
accounted for 54 seconds, bro.
Wow.
Relax. Hey,
Okay, but
I
you
said it was
remember what I
50.
said? You remember what I said about the over though? At 4.5, I was willing to add points to it and still take the bet, and I
Oh
still
yeah,
would have
I should
blown
have made
out.
this
I
like a
still would
8.
have blown through it. I could have added
And you know how many
5
times she was
points,
shown in the first quarter?
right?
One.
I know it was looking bleak.
One time.
It was looking
One
bleak.
time she was shown in the first quarter. Um, yeah, in the first 6 hours she was shown 25 times. During the show she was shown 12 times, and then at the end, post game, she was shown 8 times. So 25, 12, 8. Those were the numbers. It's a lot of
Well,
times, but
do you
it
mark her
amounted like
down?
literally.
But do you mark her down for multiple sightings, considering that they showed him hugging and kissing for like 5 minutes straight? Is that worth like 2 or 3 sightings right there?
What happened?
They sat there and had the camera on the two making
That's
out
one.
for like 5 minutes after the game.
That's one.
Right, but I'm saying though, because of the duration, should you add one more? I'm kidding.
Ah,
Like they might as well. Like I was sitting there thinking, get it.
that's fine.
The first after
Yeah.
about 5 minutes of it, I'm thinking the old saying, "Get a room." You know what I mean? Like, are we going to sit here and watch them get down now? Like, really?
You'll be fine. Anywho, I just wanted to bring that up. So yeah, and funny enough, in the overs, it ended up being Finsanity that won, so she's getting the little mini Marino as well. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
Wait,
We're
what?
gonna continue to have fun.
Did I miss? Did I miss the drawing?
It was on Monday. Your name was in it.
Oh, I missed it.
Everybody's
Wow,
name that was over. It was Monday show,
wow.
yeah.
I totally missed the drawing. I thought we were going to do it on League Wide Wednesday.
I did it Monday because the Super Bowl just happened. So
Wow,
yeah.
shafted me right out. I see how you are.
Well, you were there, so
It's all rigged anyway.
your name was there. Apparently, yeah, that's what people keep
No,
saying.
congrats to Finsanity
But what I
though.
will say
Definitely deserves it.
is, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, man. Not crypto. Sorry. Color has already. We're planning something this off season. We're gonna still do together, guys. So don't worry, he's not going nowhere. But League Wide Wednesday will be no more for this season. We're gonna start it next season. There's gonna be some changes in the lineup, but don't worry about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, come check it out. Tomorrow we're gonna continue in our cap breakdown. Um, because there's so much to do with the cap. So we're gonna continue to break that down, guys. I appreciate all you guys. And that's pretty much all I had. Anything else you got going on, Color? Anything you want to let them know where they can find you, all that
Not
good
right
stuff?
at the moment. Not right at the moment, but I will. I am crunching the numbers, and I will be bringing the top 25 quarterbacks in production of 2023, and also the top wide receivers in production for 2023. Two separate shows. I've got to crunch all the numbers, get my spreadsheet going, and so we can find out how much our quarterback has improved in production relative to what our receivers did in production relative to last year. So that'll be fun to look at, and we'll get to see how everybody fared across the league. So keep a lookout for
That's
that.
awesome. That's gonna be in your channel or TFTG?
That's going to be over TFTG. Just make sure you're subscribed over there. Hit the notification bell so you know when it's coming. It's going to take me a minute to get the numbers done, but other than that, and I am using a proper spreadsheet file this year instead of my sticky note program, so it should go faster this time.
Oh well, you should. You guys have seen my spreadsheet, so that puppy is especially the one that I got set up for the cap and the dude. It's insane. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I do a
Well,
little tutorial.
I finally found a decent template that matches what I'm looking for, and I just had to change out the titles and all that. So once I finally found it, I'm like, all right, now I'm cooking. But I'm just not an Excel guy. I'm not a spreadsheet guy, so I can't I could eventually, but it would take me the entire off season to create my file, my workbook. You know what I mean? So I'm just not that good with Office programs.
That's good, man. That's good. It's good to hear.
Never had
Well,
to do it.
ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what kind of patent or trademark or whatever, but fins up, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all you guys for coming through, man. Seriously, thank you so much. And this is Miss Fins and Miss Fins. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already, go check out Chef Jew and Chef Jew's Catering, and help support those who do support the channel, like Chef Jew. Looking for a great chef to cater your next birthday, business, office party, etc. with mouth-watering cookies, cakes, pies, and more, then go ahead and call Chef Drew at 786-804-8096. That's 786-804-8096. I appreciate all of you guys. You go ahead and reach out to him on Facebook Messenger or Instagram at Chef Jew JU Catering for more information. And mention Miss Vince to get 10% off your catering order. Guys, you guys have been literally the best. You guys can't handle the truth, and the truth simply is that he loves you guys, So that is the ultimate truth. Shout out to the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. As you can see, with the color scheme, this is part of the Speak Now album. So there you go. But Color again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Another great season. Shout out to all of
Thank
our
you.
members. You guys have been awesome. Thank you, members, man. You guys keep it going, and I really, truly appreciate it. Again, this is Miss Fin time. It's Fins. Appreciate you. Take care, guys. And we will catch you tomorrow morning. Bye bye.